Okay, we have one. Hey everybody, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. It's another very hot day here, so that's why I've got my tank top on. I was just working on preparing some cherry jam, and then I'll be working on mulberry jam after the cherry harvest is done. That will be our fundraiser again this year for the Harvey Historical Society. So if anybody wants to come help me harvest mulberries, I always get a ton of mulberries, and or if you want to help prepare. Excuse me. So tonight we're going to go over some extortion stories from when I was working. I covered the traffic court recently in Harvey, and then there was another arrest that Mayor Clark arrested someone else in what appears to be retaliation, politically motivated arrest. So actually, I want to kind of flip that around, and let's start off with the arrest. So we met with the victim Monday night after city council meeting. Her name is Melissa Crawley. Okay. And I want to share with you guys. As far as I know, this is sort of like how it started. Okay. Let me see. Okay, that's how it started. Wait, is that the same thing? I don't know the exact order. Anyway, let me just share that with you guys. Okay, so supposedly, Miss Crawley, and you'll see in the interview that I did on Monday that I'm going to share. So she says she does know our mayor, Christopher Clark, from years and years ago. But I guess it started with some sort of the most recent incident started with something on Facebook, and there's a profile, Cookie Ross, who in the past was shown to be Alderwoman Delaney Smith. It could be an alias that, who knows, maybe Mayor Clark is using as well. I'm not sure. But in it was on a post, and Cookie Ross said to Melissa, "Sleep tight and don't let them bed bugs bite." And Melissa says, "Yeah, you got the nerve to sit up here and try to tell somebody to stop talking about somebody's mama, but you don't have no problem coming in here disrespecting other people's mothers. You're a bum, and I hope that your fireworks shooting or whatever going on outside. I'm not scared of your or the police. Now run up in here so I can put that." Okay, I don't have the rest of that. And then I think the next one. So to my understanding, what had happened was there was, when they were having this online Facebook discussion, Melissa said she heard what sounded like fireworks or gunshots outside of her house, I think in the alley, and that normally she said it's very quiet, on her block, and they know what's going on, and that's not something that happens very often. So I guess they exchanged some words. I just had a little bit of this. "I'm adding you to my prayer list. I'm praying God opens your heart to forgive whatever has hurt you, to anger, and to give you understanding. God bless." And then Cookie responds to Melissa, "Go ahead. Hopefully you don't run into Lucky." I don't know what that means. Melissa says, "Lucky will get Blue the down just like you're a, and you know that. Okay." And then she said, "Okay, Chris, good night." So, but basically what she was explaining to us, Melissa, was that she felt that someone, connected to the mayor seems to have set off some sort of, like I said, either fireworks or gunshots, something outside of her house. She suspects that. Okay, so then we're going to fast forward to, I don't know if it was the next day or what, but, Okay. But she went to, sorry, I'm trying to get full script. No, is that right? So then Ms. Crawley went to protest in front of the mayor's house. I don't believe she did anything illegal or wrong. She was very upset, but she, as she pointed out in some of her other posts, she had the right to peacefully protest, upset as she was. So I just wanted to share that with you. That'll be the next. Oops, I'm so sorry. I forgot you guys couldn't see the visual.
Is this the Mirror House?
Boop, 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 boop. Okay, sorry. Let me remind. Hey, everybody. I saw a few people saying hello. Hello. All right, so that's Melissa. No, no, no. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, can I zoom in a little bit? Now I'm going to move it up. How do I move it up? Okay, well, that should be basically good. Okay, I'll try to zoom in. All right, guys. Hello, hello. If you're just joining, I just switched the agenda a little bit. So we're going to talk about the resident that was recently arrested first. Okay. And then we're going to talk more about the extortion stuff that Mayor Clark does not want you to know about and is using other actors and agitators and distractors to try to not get you to pay attention to what the horrible things that he's doing. So let's take a watch. So again, this is Miss Crawley, resident of Harvey, outside of the mayor's house the other day.
And just so y'all know, the mayor get house visits too. Your punk ass was outside acting like you was scaring somebody. Bring your bitch ass outside. I'm at your house. See, this the mayor house. While he's sitting here terrorizing us from his house. Here go the police because he keeps 24-hour surveillance over here. Yeah, filming the mayor because he threatened me at my house last night and I'm on Facebook Live. I'm not scared of you, Chris Clark. We got the right to protest, we got the right to dissent against him and all of that. I don't know who he think he is, but he ain't scaring me. I got the right to assemble outside his house. Now play with me with some fireworks and gunshots outside my house. Again. While he brought Jedediah out here, people could come to your house and do your ass the same way. And you ain't got to call nobody on me. I'm not violent. I'm not violent like him. I'm not no terrorist like him. He's trying to intimidate people. He's trying to intimidate the citizens. I'm not scared of him, though. Now, you tell him Melissa is outside. He know exactly who I am. While you out here got half the city with no water. Then he's sitting up here with 24-hour security when the rest of the city is under siege. I was born and raised in this community. I got a right to be here. And y'all see how he done enriched his mama house right here. Before he took office, it was blighted. It wasn't fixed up. As you can see, he done fenced in both of these properties and done extensive work on them at the taxpayer's expense. He got 24-hour security over here. I'm going to show y'all something else, too, that he paying for with our money. He got a license plate reader sitting up there on that cinder block right there, watching his house 24 hours a day. We paying for that. I bet you would have never thought in a million years, that it would be me standing against you. I know you. I know you. Your baby mama. Look, she called back up. What's up? I'm blessed. Don't want to talk to you. Nope. peacefully assembling, according to my constitutional rights. Have a good day. I know I am. Have a good day.
Oh, could you guys hear me? Sorry, I was just trying to give an explanation, but I don't know if I'm off the stage. Can you hear my mic? I don't know. I just realized that. Okay, wait. Now can you guys hear? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, okay, Paul Tricken's here. Wyoming's here. All the Q's here. Hey, guys. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I was trying to explain, and I did unmute myself, but I guess if I'm not on the stage, you can't hear me. So I apologize. Bear with me as I'm still learning this. So if you just joined us, basically, I paused it to explain. I just didn't realize you couldn't hear. So we're discussing Harvey resident Melissa Crawley was arrested on Monday before the city council meeting. Actually, she was arrested at her home on Monday. We're going to see that video after this video. It all started, she said, well, she said she knew, oh, thank you, all in the queue. Yes. Yeah. She knew Chris, from years ago, from growing up in Harvey. She said there was a Facebook conversation where she believes that a Facebook profile that was like an alias for the mayor was arguing with her back and forth. I think it was on one of Jet Brown's posts, and then this alias account said, "Good night, don't let the bed bugs bite," or "Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite." And then Miss Crawley said she heard what sounded like fireworks or gunshots outside of her home. She believes that might be connected to this alias profile on Facebook. And she was disturbed by this, as well as other various complaints, about just how Chris and his cronies are mismanaging the city. And, a lot of people will have their water shut off, issues like that. So she was bringing up some of these issues during her protest outside of the mayor's home. And you can see how the police accosted her and, were trying to hassle her. But she's upset, but she wasn't doing anything that I see, legally wrong or anything. I mean, she's on public property on the sidewalk or across the street, and she's just voicing her concern. But I just wanted to play that for you. So we're going to continue watching that before we go back to the other, to where you can see where she's actually arrested.
He don't even live there. I'm finna be here every day. When you set your ass outside trying to intimidate me, you under a fake page named Cookie Roast, acting like you threatening me. I'm outside your house. And I'm gonna be here every day. While he ticketing people, and he got his car parked back there on the grass. Y'all see that red car back there behind his house? And he claimed he brought Jedediah out here. Jedediah want to see me. What's up? I'm right here. And y'all letting this man walk around here and terrorize us. The mayor threatened me from a Facebook page named Cookie Ross.
Okay, yeah, and sorry again if you're just tuning in. So the two houses with the black fence around it, and I realized I should explain again because I didn't realize you couldn't hear me when I'm off stage. So at 157th and Page, there are two homes that the mayor owns. However, we're told that he does not live there, and it's not too hard. Like if you go there, as Melissa says in the video, like we pay for a constant police presence and a police camera. There's at least two cars that are just police cars that'll sit out there, but there's always one that's manned. I believe it's 24 hours. And then there's a camera that's there, and all those resources, considering that from everything we have seen and heard, the mayor does not live there. He does not live in Harvey anywhere. So again, we shouldn't be surprised, right? This is just like Napoleon Harris. Napoleon Harris, again, does not live in Thornton Township. It's nothing personal. It's just the fact. And, we do have laws that require our politicians to live where they govern. But neither of them do. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, so that's where she's protesting in front of these two homes at the corner. The big old tall black fences, that's a whole other story. So I was on the Planning and Zoning Commission a few years ago when the mayor forced through a zoning variance. So to allow those fences because they're taller than should be allowed in Harvey code. And I believe it's also something with just the front fence being in front and also being a corner lot. The one is a corner lot. So you might say, what's a variance? Basically, you will have ordinances that and zoning regulations that will regulate things like fence height or what kind of fences you can have. So what Chris Clark did, being the mayor, is instead of actually following our laws, he just pushed through the Planning and Zoning Commission that I was on at the time, and then pushed through City Council a variance, which is an exception, which is basically like, oh, okay, well, the mayor doesn't have to follow the laws. He can have whatever kind of fence he wants. Now, mind you, if one of us tried to do that, of course, do you think it would get through even to the would it get even through the Planning and Zoning Commission? No, it wouldn't even get there. It wouldn't even get to the City Council to be voted on. But again, it's just more evidence of improper, unethical, and I would say illegal, but I'm not a lawyer, allegedly, governance by Clark and his cronies. So just the whole story of those two houses, the one I think his mother had owned or his grandmother had owned for a long time. The corner one was acquired relatively recently, within the past few years. So, but it's not secret, and she's not doing anything wrong. She's on public property. There's a school right across the street. It's right by Ingalls. I was accosted by Detective Magana last year when I was giving one of my tours of Harvey because he didn't like that we were so close to the mayor's house. And I'm like, okay, but we're not doing anything. It's all public property there. Like, what's the big deal? So just to give you an idea, that is what's going on. So she's trying to voice her concerns, and the police are coming because even though, like I said, all our sources tell us Clark does not live there. He does not live there. We pay for 3 police cars around the clock and a camera and all this other crap.
And I ain't never gonna let you forget it. Every day I'm gonna be out here. What? I'm not stopping to talk to you. What? Say whatever you want to say while I'm in motion. What's up? You sure can. I don't care. He got on Facebook. Christopher Clark, Mayor Christopher Clark, got on Facebook last night under a fake Facebook page by the name of Cookie Ross and told, because he been using the same Facebook page. Ain't nobody slow. Like I said, using the same Facebook page, told me sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And next thing I hear is what sound to be like gunshots or fireworks outside of my house. He called himself trying to intimidate me. I ain't scared of your bitch ass, though. I don't even got nothing to say about that. Everything on Facebook. Go investigate. You got the capability to pull up metadata and everything else. Go trace that Cookie Ross Facebook page for the citizens of Harvey. I ain't filing no police report because y'all out here guarding him. Why would I trust y'all? That's crazy. I'm out here informing the people. Because y'all damn sure wouldn't tell nobody. If I went down there and asked for any damn information, you'd be hollering about an FOI request. I'm not filing shit. I'm going to come out here and talk to the person that I want to talk to. But his bitch ass don't live there, and I'm going to be here every day so I can show the citizens he don't live there. Y'all guarding an empty ass house. Now, you kicked it off with the right one. Okay, but you ain't. If you wouldn't be talking to me, I wouldn't even be talking. I'd be talking to my Facebook people. Okay, are you asking me to calm down? Is that I could do that? You too. Be blessed and stop working for cowards and people that harass people online. You was here last time when I showed up to this address when he lied and told me he was going to help me get my water on, and his ass got down to that city hall acting like he ain't know what I was talking about, and then you act like you ain't know what I was talking about too when you was standing right there with him. Y'all just ain't never met nobody that's bold enough to get out and talk. He better live in that damn house because I'm damn sure going to be here every day. Police come out here like somebody's scared of y'all. I'm not scared of the police. I'm scared of nobody. I'm scared of the one that could destroy my soul. That's it. Get the fuck on. Peaceful protest. I don't even know why the fuck they was called in the first place. You don't even live in that house, y'all. I'm gonna stay out here all night. Why is you looking at what you on my car for? What you on my car for? For what? That's intimidation and harassment. You playing?
Okay, so she continues to protest. Let's see. I don't think she's gonna vote for him, right? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who lives in either house, honestly. Also, we had discovered last year. I took a photo of a permit. Clark had been doing major renovations in both houses with no permits. Now, do you know how much they'll ticket you? I think the tickets are $1,000 a day if they catch you doing work without a permit here. So by that calculation, the mayor owes us, the taxpayers, I mean, how many thousands of dollars? They were doing major work for months on those homes, and the permits were never posted in the window. They finally posted one, I think that was last fall. It's in my YouTube. When we were there and I took a photo of it. They sent the police after me too and my guest. But she does have she has a right to be there. But that's just how they are. Like I said, he gets all that protection, the 3 police cars, 24/7, plus there's a police camera and everything. And from what we're told and what we've observed, I mean, he doesn't live there. He lives somewhere else. I don't know how much more egregious you can be. That's pretty bad, for houses that are like empty, or at least that he doesn't live in.
With the right one, I got 2 years of law school. What's your badge and badge number? Okay, what is it? Griffin 1156. Thank you. Stop trying to harass me because I'm protesting. You have no business near my vehicle. None. For what? For what, though? Why are you running my vehicle is the question. Why? Because you're...
And I think I'd have to go back and look again. I know it's a little bit fuzzy, but I believe at least one of the officers is Officer Morris, who was harassing me when I was covering traffic court in the parking lot. I think it's the same guy.
You're over here harassing me, and you're standing by my vehicle. That's why I'm over here, Officer Griffith. Okay, have a good day. Yeah, you have a good day for the second time.
Yeah, she said Griffin. I'm pretty sure that is him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's the same officer. So he's younger, on the shorter side, fairly thin. So I'm pretty sure that was the same officer.
Now, you over here talking a bit. You over here just pulled up on my car, though. My property. Yeah, you can with reason. With reason. What's your probable cause? Articulate your probable cause for running my place. Okay? And so again, as a citizen, I'm asking you, why are you by my car? Okay. Like I said, foyer. You hear his bitch ass? Yeah, bad bitch for the fourth time. Somebody's scared of their ass. He don't live here. They guard an empty house.
Again, if you're just tuning in, welcome everybody. Welcome. I'll take some questions and everything after the video, but I just wanted to share. I think Melissa's here with us too. Hey, Melissa. I think one of those accounts is you. But she's reminding us, which is one reason why I'm so glad she did this protest and shared the video. We pay. Now, remember, this is the same mayor who always says, well, this is why we don't have anything done, because we're $167 million in debt. And then you guys always just want to complain. You never want to help. So then how can you afford paying for 3 squad cars, giving 24/7 guarding privileges, plus a special police camera for a house you don't live in? Like Melissa was saying, it's empty. Seriously? So which is it, Chris Clark? Are we broke? Because you certainly have money for a trip to Las Vegas last year. You have money for 24/7 security detail. You have money to buy fancy TVs and furniture for your office. What was it, about $8,000, I want to say at least, was spent on redoing the mayor's suite. So we have the money. I think it's just, where's the money going? And that's the thing he doesn't want you to know. And he'll do anything, and he'll hire and use other agents provocateurs, as we call them in French, people to distract and to cause all sorts of drama, because he doesn't want you to ask where he's spending our tax money. That is the one thing that he does not want you to know. So, of course, that's why we're going to keep asking those questions.
And he'll sit his ass up there on a bitch ass motherfucker fake ass page. Bitch, I'm at your door. Fuck you on. Nothing. And look at the police down there. You see them down there harassing me? Waiting to see what I do. Like somebody finna bust his windows or something. Who does stuff like that? Some people just protest. I'm one of them. When he come out that door, whenever he come out that door, I'll be out here. Get on no fake Facebook page and threaten me, boy. I'll come to your house, man. Ain't on a motherfucking thing. Look at her. I went to this school, y'all. I went right here to this school. Never thought in a million years that all these years later I would be standing here in protest against somebody who was raised right in this same damn community, acting like he a damn terrorist against us. And for what? For what? For what? For what? Really think somebody's scared of their ass. That's the shit that be tripping me out. They think a motherfucker scary or something. I don't get a motherfucking thing to nobody. Fuck, I'm scared of the police. Fuck. They sitting in the air. I might as well sit in the air and wait too.
I was going to say, I think that's about it. Okay. Haley violating Harvey with defense in the car. Yeah. So, like I explained to you guys, yeah. Now I'll try to answer if you have any questions that I can answer, or Melissa, if you're on too, if you want to answer any questions about that. And then I wanted to play the next video. Wait, was there another one before your arrest, Melissa? I thought there was one, maybe one other one. But yeah, this is all just it's just crazy. Like, it's hard to believe that this stuff is actually happening, you know? It's like, is this really real? Is this really real? I thought there was one more, Melissa. Let me look. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, now is a good time to ask, and I'll try to answer what I can. Melissa, wasn't there was another one when you were, another video you made, but I can't remember if it was, no, I think it was before your arrest, but I definitely had the arrest video. Shoot, I thought I saved that one, Melissa. Well, you know what? Let's just look it up. Let's look it up. But yeah, you guys, this is just, it's insane. It truly is. Hey there. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I apologize if I did not acknowledge you. I know a lot of people have been commenting, coming and going. I'm not sure. Hey. Yeah, that's all right, Melissa. I'm going to check your Facebook page right now. You have to know the law. Hello, Ryan. Hey, no apologies. Hey. I'm going to glance right now because I know I was looking the other day. I just wanted to give, try to give a timeline and be logical about it and give people a chance to kind of see what happened instead of just, well, I heard this or so-and-so said this, right? We like to try to get to the facts and the truth. That is very important. Oh, okay. I think I remember, Melissa. I think I remember. So there was something, but feel free to clarify. I think that a certain person had threatened you, I believe, and then you were responding to that in one of your videos. There's another one, but I don't remember if you were talking about Harvey in this one. But that's right. Let's go. That's okay. Let me play the arrest video so you guys can see that. Oh, actually, wait. You know what? Here it is. It is on your. Yeah, you know what? I can just do that. Share it from there. No. Okay, there we go. Stay right there. Okay, so you guys saw what had happened. Wait, hold on. What did I miss? Harvey jail is disgusting. Right. Last I saw, Colby Chapman shared a letter with us, I believe from last year, saying that the jail was closed. The cells were closed because they were not fit for human occupation. So I have no idea how or why they thought it was okay to throw Miss Crawley in there. Just like Dalton jail is disgusting. Yeah, I'd like to see both of them, honestly. All right, so let's take a look. Let me add this in here. And hey, okay. So remember, this was the actual. This was after. Oh yes! Oh my gosh, Melissa. Well, after we do this, maybe if you want to come on, but I want to share your videos first, just because you already said a whole bunch. But then, if you want to come on and share, I'd love to have you. So this is the actual arrest video, the footage that she took when she was arrested. So she did the protest. Whatever you guys think, hey Regent, whatever you guys think. I don't think she did anything illegal. She was upset, but again, she didn't. She wasn't good. She wasn't saying, Mayor Clark, come and fight me. I'm going to beat you up. She was talking about specific issues. So I don't think she was doing anything out of the ordinary. But this is what happens then. He sends the police.
And like clockwork.
Whoops, sorry. Go back to the beginning.
And like clockwork.
Oh, okay.
Harvey police is at my door to harass me. So I want you guys to witness this. I got to put my clothes on because they just popped up like they did.
Hey, Stephanie, and hey, whoever else. If I missed your hello, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. So again, she was just at her home, and she's going on live, which is this is what I recommend, by the way. Call someone if you can. The only thing I probably would have recommended to her and to anyone is that, honestly, I would not open your door unless, particularly for Harvey police, I don't trust them because they're like Mayor Clark's personal, SS, like stormtroopers. And for the most part, they've shown that they have no loyalty to the Constitution or to what's right or wrong. They just do whatever Clark says. So I consider them, you just have to be very, very, very cautious. I'm not saying that sometimes there aren't officers who don't do the right thing, but I'm just saying for the most part, the ones that I've seen, Clark has worked years to get control of that department and to get rid of the officers that stood up to him. That's why no warrant, no answer. Right. Exactly. And that is why Clark has gone through so many police chiefs, why he has fired so many police chiefs, because people like Eddie Winters that we just have to pay a settlement to because Clark fired him wrongfully. They would stand up to him and say, no, I'm not going to do that just because you're the mayor. I follow the law and ethics, so just be very careful. I would not open the door for police. If they, you always have the right to remain silent. You do not have to speak with them. And if they are, particularly if they're saying, come with us, they need to have a warrant that's from a court that is signed by a judge, not an ICE warrant or a Homeland Security warrant or a city warrant. It should be proper and official. So, all right, sorry. I just want to let you guys, and I'm not saying this to make Miss Crawley feel bad at all. I'm just saying I'm glad that it could have been worse as far as how she was hurt, but you can see in this video, watch how she's not aggressive or anything.
Sister Kobe. So yeah, the police are at my door. So let's go talk to Harvey police. Okay, how can I assist y'all? How you doing?
You, Melissa.
I absolutely am. Good morning. Say hi to Facebook, everybody. Like clockwork, y'all know I ain't never had the police at my house. So let's see what's going on.
All right, so we have oh yeah, no problem, Melissa. And I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying I've learned, I'm learning, right? Why didn't they arrest her while she was at the scene? I don't know. But again, she didn't do anything wrong. But that is very much like Clark. He oftentimes he likes to calculate and plan behind the scenes. He will rarely ever do his dirty work. He always sends someone else to. So that's very much like him. Oh, it's Windy City. Oh, okay, cool. Notice how she did nothing wrong, right? Either in the protest or coming to her door. She's super kind and everything. So you have two. You have detective, or they call him, and sometimes they call him director, Magana. So he's the one that harassed me when I was giving a tour when we were near the mayor's house. He pulled me over, me and my guest. And he's also the one that put his hands on Colby the latest time that she was arrested. It's Detective Magana. He also tends to be in the back during city council meetings. I got him on film Monday. The other gentleman, I'm blanking on his name. I just had it at the tip of my tongue, but he's a little bit older, light-skinned black man with a mustache. And I know his name, but I just can't think of it. So those were the two officers that were sent to her house. So, yeah. Hey, Conscious. Hey. Exactly. She did nothing wrong, but they spin the block on. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And now we're going to have to probably end up paying another stupid settlement, because Clark doesn't follow the law.
What I'm under arrest for?
And she did something that I agree with there. And again, I'm not a lawyer, please. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just saying based on, how I feel or what I've learned. But she said, well, what am I under arrest for? Now watch what they do. And she's been very kind, very cooperative, not belligerent at all. Watch.
Investigation for what? See this? Y'all see them?
And that's it. So I was doing some work. Like I was not in the area on Monday, and I know a few of us had shared that video, had seen the video, and we were like, what happened? So everybody was worried because you can tell Magana like pushes the phone out of her hand or something. But I mean, that's it. That's all we knew. And then someone said, oh, Melissa Crawley's been arrested. So I was not there, you know, in Harvey at the moment to cover it, but I was trying to get some other people to. So luckily, we did get someone to help her. But just listen. I'm going to pull up now the. Let me grab the footage from when I interviewed her the day of. So she was arrested in the morning, and then when she got out in the evening. Let me find it. Sorry. Gosh, I know I had it. Okay. Sorry, I gotta look somewhere else, but I will find it. I will find it. I didn't edit it Monday if someone was looking for it. Okay, yeah, there it is. It's just unlisted. Okay. So now we need to, I'm gonna open that. And we're gonna fast forward to the end. Forgive me, it was literally in the, this was, you know, this wasn't planned. But we were just all so happy, concerned citizens of Harvey, that she was out of jail because we had no idea what had happened to her. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think this is it. All right, now did anyone have any questions? You guys got Ragin and French cannot see each other. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm sure you guys can work that out. Okay, so this was that same evening after Miss Crawley was arrested.
Suburban hospital as well as Christ. I think Christ is under them. Somebody corrected me earlier. And I sit on their boards. I'm also familiar with NAMI, who does a lot of advocating for those who are mentally ill. So when the young lady came in, I said, why are you giving me, first of all, why am I here? They brought you in for a psych evaluation. Oh, I'm crazy now. I said, well, I tell you.
So and they were, Ms. Crawley was already speaking, with some people when I arrived to cover it. So in addition to being arrested at her home I think it was Monday morning, right, Melissa? Same day city council. Then she was kept at the Harvey police station in that filthy cell where she should not have been kept for however long. And then eventually they made her go to the hospital.
What? I'm in my full mind, my right mind. I said, I'm fully aware of where I'm at, but I need for you to articulate to me what behavior that I have displayed that warrants you to give me a shot against my will. And she couldn't respond to it, of course.
It's only two ways to change yourself or others.
Right.
Or not.
Right. And so let me not leave this out. Buds ambulance, complicity. And the reason that I say that is because he intentionally did not strap me tight on the gurney that they had me on. So I was shifting all around when he was, and I knew that it was intentional because if you went to any type of medic school, you know those bands supposed to be tight. Mm-hmm. So as he's pulling the gurney out of the ambulance, we had some type of verbal, I call him a punk ass motherfucker. Like that's how I talk. I'm sorry. When I'm upset, that's how I talk. He was upset by that. So by those bands being loose, my leg fell over the edge of it. He tried to take the gurney 3 times. Oh. And smashed my foot in between the wall of the ambulance and the gurney. To which I told him I'd kick you in your face, and I would have. If you harm me, I'm well within my right to defend myself. That should be on one of the people's body cams, because all throughout the ordeal, I requested that everybody's body cams be activated so as not to spoil evidence.
That's smart. That's very smart.
And I use those legal terms to let them know that evidence spoilage would be either my justification being preserved or their justification. It's for both of us. Mm-hmm. Don't throw it away. And so that's it. Here we are. But they basically took me to Ingalls because I was singing and praying and speaking in tongues. And so for that, I was labeled crazy. Or they attempted to label me.
But they pray every meeting.
Right. They fake prayers every meeting. I don't know who he be talking to because my guy got an ear. And he here. And whoever that was that came down there, the attorney, whoever he was, when I decreed and declared that out of my mouth, that man came through that door. I said, send help, God. I don't know where they coming from, but I thank you in advance. And no sooner than words left my lips, he came out. I thought it was a setup. I thought it was a joke. Who is you? Where you come from? Who sent you? I kept just saying that. Who sent you? Like, quit playing. And then he was like, Pastor Johnson. I'm like, Pastor? I don't know no pastor.
Oh.
But that's the gist of what happened. I love my community. I'm passionate about my community. I also because I had been praying about this, but the Lord started to show me the more we understand ourselves, the more we understand others and each other. And so it's because of that I began to get even more vocal. I've already supported you from the time you got here. But I understand that sometimes when you in contentious things and stuff like that, you got to feel folks out. You don't know who for what.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. I forgot that was in there.
But, right. And the Lord had to sit me down and talk to me about that. There's one thing about me. You make an enemy out of me, you got a dedicated one. I promise you. Because I'm not mean-spirited person. I mean, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I'm so sorry I got here late. I wanted to ask what happened. Why did they arrest you? Because I was so worried. I heard about this earlier, but I was in the city, so.
Ryan. I said, and I got into it with Jedediah about you.
I thank you. I saw you. You stood up for me and for the residents of Harvey. I appreciate that. Thank you. You didn't have to do that.
I said, no, he don't talk to Ryan. Ryan got me blocked. We both got each other blocked for years. I said, you don't talk to Ryan.
Right. Because it's Harvey.
Because that's wrong.
Harvey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so that's really what kicked all this off, me getting into it with Jedediah. And I've done extensive research on the scam artist because that is just what he's turning out to be. And I say that because I believe that he really started out with the right things to do in mind. However, I believe he's got a taste of the dollar and the benefits of what comes along with being a freedom fighter. And he's become addicted to that and has become less and less sounding like the voice of the people that he's supposed to represent. And so that's my opinion. So that is why he and I clash.
You were discharged from the hospital and transported back home?
No, I was discharged from the hospital, taken back to the police station, and made to walk home barefoot. I didn't even have shoes on.
Really? Oh my God.
Didn't have shoes on.
What was the reason? Because I saw your video.
So the reason,
what was the reason for the arrest?
For the arrest is that I was under investigation. I never got a mug shot, never got fingerprints, never even sat at the table to talk to anybody about it. So,
Wow.
You looking at my plants?
No, look at you. That's how you look down.
And that just so you all know that matches again another pattern of that's what happened when I was arrested. Well, I shouldn't say. I guess technically they charged me with disorderly conduct last year, but it was thrown out. But I was never fingerprinted or processed. It was just it seems like it's a common technique that they're using to just try to intimidate people, because if you have to go through these horrible traumatic experiences, right, their Clark and his goons are hoping that you're going to think twice before you ask questions or before you complain about something. And now, obviously, I don't want that to happen. I don't want us to be silenced. I want us to fight back and find answers to our questions.
Oh, my phone.
Yeah.
Well, they say that the phone last pinged between McDonald's and Popeyes, so it was one of them police officers. I believe.
Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault.
To talk to anybody about it. So.
Wow.
You looking at my plants?
No, look at you.
For whatever happened at the mayor's house.
Oh, when you were
protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on.
And I watched it. You didn't say or do anything untoward. I mean,
yeah, I did not see the video, but what happened? They were at the mayor's house.
Okay, so I went to the mayor's house just standing there protesting it because so the previous night.
And that's the video that I showed you. And then Miss Crawley will explain the background to that.
I was arguing with his alias, Cookie Ross, under which Cookie Ross said to me, "Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite." To which I responded, whatever I said, I can't even remember word for word, but it's on Facebook. And whatever I said, I can see his face. So it's not a convenient forgetfulness. I just don't remember everything that I said that I said. Mm-hmm. But that said, his last response was sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'm going to say about 4 minutes later, I heard what sounded to be like gunshots or fireworks outside. This is how my community... Listen, they can say whatever they want to say about Harvey, but my community is silent at nighttime. We don't have no problems over here. I've been living over here for years. It happens around us, like blocks over and stuff like that, but this particular block, whatever that was that went off after me and that entity got done arguing with each other online, it was close, nearby. And
oh, wow.
There's a family here, there's a family here, there's a family. They just moved there. So we know everybody on this block, and none of us would be letting off fireworks at that time of the night. And I'm praying that it was even just fireworks, or they wasn't shooting in the air to try to
Does
scare
your
me.
camera work?
Not this one.
Okay. But
So
you do have one.
I got one pointed at the back of my house.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's
Ryan,
Hmm.
are you live?
Mhm.
Does she know that you're live?
Oh yeah, this is an interview. Are you okay? I'm sorry, I thought you knew
oh
that.
no, I didn't. I know. I just don't want. I don't put my feet on camera.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, yeah, because Amanda was already recording before
Yeah,
this.
he was recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm fine. It is what it is. But
Well, I'm just glad you're okay.
That's
Yeah,
what
because
happened.
I was wondering. So
yeah,
I was like,
cool.
ah.
I'm cool. But it did give me another idea for a piece of legislation that I would like to introduce. I would like it mandatory that not only police officers wear body cam, but I want the medic staff to wear them too.
Yeah,
So they can say
that makes
anything.
sense. Yeah.
I'm sorry that you had to experience this. You know,
Mhm.
enough
Is
is
enough.
is enough.
Is enough.
The abuse of Black women here in the city of Harvey is
It's
just
not happening. Nothing. Nobody.
But it's not. I'm gonna tell you. I've heard Chris Clark and his. Okay, now the background with Chris Clark and I. He has a baby by my sister's childhood best friend's sister. So I know this gentleman, if you would like to call him that, extensively. Okay. That said, he understands the type of information that I have. So there are times where I've had conversations with him where he's allowed to be very candid because we know one another. And he has a disdain for the people of Harvey. He thinks all of us are on drugs. He thinks that we don't
Stupid.
deserve justice. He thinks that everybody is slow or stupid or crazy or he's above them. And this is how he talks candidly with people that he knows. He wants to do away with anything that he feels is attached to the old Harvey, meaning people and legacies and
That
anything.
makes so much
He
sense.
wants to try to push what he wants so he can get swelled up because he's very narcissistic. He beats women. He just got it sealed. Y'all don't know about it. And it's a lot of stuff that he do that is very abusive and narcissistic. That's it. And I hate that we overuse that term now because people don't really understand really what it really means to be a narcissistic person. That's dangerous, especially when they are in a position of power. Because that is what the narcissistic personality is built on. Do you know that there is no treatment for a narcissistic person? Not at all. Nothing that we do, no amount of screaming, hollering, or anything like that is gonna make that man come to any type of recognition. He's defiant towards God. Anytime you can stand and pray prior to your meeting and then have that meeting and proceed to do the same thing against the people of the God. Do you not know that the one that planted the ear and the one that planted the eye can hear and see? But you bow in your head and you pray in these meetings. But look at the condition of the people. Condition of our community. Boulders in front of our
how
house.
dark it is right here. Why is it so? Look at the grass.
You've been complaining about this since I've been here. Y'all would look
Yeah,
worse
there's high
than this
grass across the street.
before I start complaining.
There's a little park there.
No.
So that's that.
Can you
I
share? Well, I'm glad you're okay. No, we were just wondering some of the things that you shared at the mayor's house. What were some of your frustrations that
Some
you
of
were?
my frustrations was the fact that he parades around acting as if he cares about the children in this community when these boulders houses
Okay, so just to clarify, if you're wondering, like, what is she talking about with boulders? I don't know about in other communities, but what they will do in Harvey is that if you are behind on your water bill, uh, at some point, or I don't know exactly when in the process, but they will come and they'll put a big boulder over your meter well. We have meter wells in a lot of the houses in Harvey, so older communities. It's more common to see those. So that means the water meter is usually in the parkway in a little a little container. So they'll put the blocks over there so that people cannot turn their water back on. Now, again, I understand that, they want the water bill paid, but the point being raised here is, okay, like, could we be humane towards people? Like, water is something that people need to live, instead of just, putting a boulder on top of it so they can't turn it on.
About.
Mm.
And so, just, and then just in general, how he talks to us and treats us as citizens. And we're the ones that elected you. Well, I did. You know what happened? Look. You know I did.
Lies he tell.
Right.
So, yeah, that's that.
And do you know who sent the police after you, or did
Chris Clark?
How do you know?
Because I was asking, who is your CW, which is your complaining witness. I kept asking, who is the CW, and they kept saying, you know who the CW is. If I knew who the CW was, why would I?
You wouldn't have asked,
right?
right?
When
will you have your day in court to face
there
your
is
accused?
no day in court because there was no charges.
So you second person.
Wow.
You need to make.
Well, that sounds familiar.
That's traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
That's traumatic. You take.
So that's the crazy thing again, is all this, and she wasn't even charged. It's just pure abuse of power to try to intimidate people into being silent, and I can't stand for that. Yeah, absolutely not. And I agree with Ms. Crawley's assessments. As far as remember, I supported Chris during his first term. I really thought that he was, he was talking a great talk about all the reforms and how he didn't want to be like Mayor Kellogg, and he's ended up, he's now just like Kellogg that he criticized, where everything is top secret and controlled by him, and he harasses his critics or anyone that makes the answers or asks questions. So it's very, yeah, it's sad. Sad.
Person through all of that trauma, and then
Traumatic and
right.
send you to the hospital
And make you take medicine that you, yeah.
I still don't feel like myself about that. That I just was so exhausted emotionally and mentally that it felt like going to the hospital and being picked and prodded. I wish I knew somebody that could draw my blood on the spot and just take it. Y'all know anybody else know? Because I just don't want to go
right
to the hospital, but I would like to know what did they inject me.
You should. It'll help.
So again, not only being arrested when we're protesting outside the mayor's house peacefully, but she was upset, but she wasn't burning it down or anything. Arrested, thrown into cells that are not supposed to have humans in them, forced to go to the hospital, but then forcibly injected. And I still don't think, Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I still don't think you even know what they injected you with, right? I mean, this is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So that's why we got to get the truth out there and keep people putting the pressure on City Hall, asking those questions of Clark and the 4 alder yes men, because that is what they don't want. They want to distract from that. And so that means that they really must be hiding something. We got to keep the pressure on.
That Harvey seems to be very well connected to the hospital. Even for them to be able to do what they're doing, they have to have.
And I hope that that's not true, but Ingalls was purchased by University of Chicago. University of Chicago has faced much criticism over the years in how they handle. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, the shot was never logged. That is extremely inhumane and shady. And you see, this is the kind of stuff we need to expose, get the light on it. But yeah, University of Chicago does have a reputation for also being secretive and being probably the largest real estate owner on the whole south side of Chicago, and now controls Ingalls Hospital as well as Ingalls Clinics. So I hope that they're not scheming with Clark, but she has a point in that. Well, how is this Harvey resident? How are they able to even send her there? I guess they labeled her crazy, but I don't understand how that enabled them to send her to the hospital and then inject her against her will.
Have some inside person at the hospital even that allows them to treat people like that.
That's because Ingalls own a lot of property over there too. So letting you know that now.
Wow.
They own a whole lot of property.
But I'm prepared to. I'm more than likely back. I say probably about 8:00 tomorrow morning. I'll have my paperwork to be filed. I'm going to go after him for civil rights violations, and I'm gonna go. So I can't go no more.
We stand there with you. I mean, every single one of us, we all have the same complaint. I mean, something gotta be done. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just not certain what to say. I'm thankful we can just stand here with you seriously. I'm thankful that your daughter reached out, that Belinda, Chappelle. But it's just I just don't understand what the hell is going on. I just don't.
So my kids say, "What the hell he?"
Right.
What the hell are y'all saying? What the hell he buried? And then I kept telling them because I was laughing too because I'm like, "What is it? My tooth missing? My tooth came out, John. That's not right. My tooth missing. But I still got some sense, y'all. Y'all ain't judging me because my hair a little nappy. Okay, if my hair nappy. Is that the right? You know, I'm just.
You got all the stuff words. Right. And keep quoting those things so that we know how to do it.
Yeah.
Law school experience.
2 years.
You probably have good case.
Triple major.
Oh, okay.
That's with the wrong one.
Oh.
I just ran out of financial aid, because I went to a private college.
Right.
To do all this stuff since 2019. I've been trying to get it.
You've been boots on the ground. Yeah. You want to be argumentative.
Even then. But you know what?
About 4 or 5 blocks.
And so what did he charge you?
Aggravated assault.
Okay, so
I'm going to report you that.
They keep stretching it out. What did they think?
Because they need additional time to review.
Oh, to review.
We'll see, kind of all the.
You going over there in the Marco Court building? Okay, what courtroom?
Thanks, Wendy City. Thank you. I'll try to let you know if I can find a way that you can help.
I'm in 7 motions on Marco. Do you know the head prosecutor came down and interrupted the court proceedings and said no more, stop.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it can't nobody beat me in it. I worked for. I'm telling you, I remember exactly what I was at that car wash when they announced that. But that said, I've always been passionate about the law, passionate about the Constitution.
I'm the man that said I definitely don't like anything. All of this political about it is that people will do anything to cover up stuff. You know what I'm saying? They'll throw out smoke and mirrors and throw out all type of whatever they can to distract us, right? From what they're really trying to do. We're not distracted. We still have our eyes on where
I'm on point. Listen here, I got a war room in my house.
So I think that's really important. Sorry, the dog might want to go outside. That's really important what the pastor said, and that's what I mentioned, and that's what I agree with. all this stuff is being done to distract us from where the money is at the city level, right? And what they're doing with our money and what they're doing, making all these decisions behind closed doors. So that's why we know we have to keep putting the pressure on to get those answers. And I think that's just about it. Melissa, did you want to come on to answer any questions live? Just let me know. I know it's kind of last minute.
That's what Stephen said. When our heads are down, then we're
Oh, that, yeah.
Hey,
that means it's on and
yes,
pop.
yes.
You can't mess-
Ever. And somebody did something.
Yeah, so that was the the basics, the gist of it. And I know Trina, you were giving some advice as far as saying that that whole thing was done improperly. I definitely would want answers as well, because how can you just submit someone and try to get a hold on them for a psych eval and everything, and that's crazy. Ryan emailed you a picture of a building in front of a business. Oh, okay. Let me take a look at that. Oh, with the boulders. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Those are sort of like boulders too. That's not, I don't think that's this exact same one that she meant. Miss Crawley, I think that she was referring to the fact that the boulders get put on the meter wells, so people can't turn on the water if they haven't paid their bills. So, but yeah, did anybody have any questions or comments for Miss Melissa? Let me see. Let me try to. I'll send you an invitation. But thank you. I did get that, Diana. Thank you. Okay, so there's the link. I just sent it. So if you click on that, Miss Crawley, you can come in. Excuse me. I can bring you on. And then I wanted to go over some of the comments that from the traffic court that we got. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I could do that tomorrow. You guys know there's always a ton of stuff going on. Too much. All right. Can you figure it out, Melissa? Okay, there you are. Good. Hey, there she is. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and see you. So yeah, what do you think? So watching.
Y'all excuse how I'm looking.
You what? Say that again. There she is. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, just make sure to mute your audio so we don't get an echo. So, yeah, what do you think? So watching.
Y'all excuse how I'm looking.
You what? Say that again.
Oh, I said excuse me how I'm looking. I'm gonna have to cut the TV off because it's gonna give me some feedback.
Make sure to mute your audio so we don't get an echo.
Yeah.
You what? Say that again.
Oh, I said excuse me how I'm looking. I'm gonna have to cut. Okay.
You got it. Okay, good. Yeah. Just because there's like a little delay, but yeah, no, thank you for being with us. This is Ms. Melissa Crawley. So, what do you think? How do you feel as you're watching the videos and like watching the timeline? Like, I mean, how do you feel about just how your rights were totally disregarded?
I just never would have thought something like this would have happened, and just looking at it. And knowing what I know about civics and my rights and things like that, I was just so unguarded because I didn't think that it would happen. Like, if I had been on point, I would have never opened my door. If I would have thought that they could come in or would come in, rather, Because really the police can do whatever they want to do. We are not on these calls every day. So we can't say what is legal and what isn't legal. Um, and it's not until you either find yourself in one of these situations or you're someone like me. I investigate these types of situations. I have been very vocal in my community about police interactions with the community and how they influence the broader things that we see in our community, such as violence, and how they actually contribute to a undertone of that when they abuse power. And so that's always been my position towards police. I am not hostile toward them. I have, and I know it's kind of equivalent to when people say I have a black friend, but that's not what I'm saying. I have law enforcement in my family, and I respect the law, and I believe that the Constitution is a beautiful document if we live by it, and if we enforced it the
Right.
way that it would be enforced, all of us would be better off. And so that's kind of what I wanted to say on my own, and I'll answer whatever questions you
And
or
did you ever find out have you found out what they injected you with yet, or no?
No, because whoever the nurse was, and I was so mad, Ryan, I went and found her Facebook page. Whatever she injected me with, she did not log in my medical records at all. There's no record of her giving me this, but I can tell you this. There were cameras in the room. Again, I asked that everybody body cam be on when she was asking me the psych questions because, like I said, I am a mental health advocate. They tried to do my son like this one time, and I was able to advocate for him after 3 doctors falsely diagnosed him in an effort to confine him. And so this has happened to my family in the past, so I'm familiar with those type of organizations. So when they tried to put me in the trick bag, I already knew what was happening. I actually stopped praying because initially that was their basis for arresting me. Don't open the door. That was their reason for taking me to the hospital was because I was praying and singing, and that's my coping mechanism, and that's my personal religion, and I have the right to practice that. And so I was in very much so in distress. All I could do was pray. If you look at my house right now, this is not nothing that's pretend. I live my life by these scriptures. This is what I do. This is who I am. I pray. I believe in my community. I serve. So this wasn't an act or anything that I was put on. These people put me in so much distress. I had no other alternative but to draw into my God to be able to survive that experience. You got to remember what they gave me. I wasn't myself for at least 2 days. Now, and I'm not by any means calling people with mental illness weak, but if I did not have the determination, the strength, and the knowledge that I do have, I could have been messed up really badly by that shot. I could have tripped out really, really bad because it had me having panic attacks 2 days in a row. And that's how I know she didn't log the shot, because I went to a second hospital. This is very important. I want you guys to listen to this to show you that I was indeed coherent when they gave me the shot. They put in my records that the reason for the psych evaluation was that I made grandiose statements. If anyone know anything about mental health, that is one of the markers for psychosis. And that's, for example, that someone would say something like, I'm the king, or I'm the president of the United States, and it's false. However, what I told them was that I sit on 3 boards for a hospital. They put that in my records, but I actually sit on 3 patient boards for a hospital. That's how I knew what they were doing to me was wrong, in addition to the experience that I have. And so that said, they put that in my records. They also put that I told them I had 2 years of law school. She wasn't, I mean, 2 years of medical school. She wasn't listening. I told her I had 2 years of law school because I was a triple major at one point, taking a 3-on-3 program, and I've completed already 2 years of law school. I've gone to the United States Supreme Court and had a law struck down. The ACLU filed a amicus brief on my behalf, which is a friend of the court brief. If anybody knows the law out there, I know what I'm talking about. I'm just not I believe, and honestly, and I joke about this with my family because I've been crying since my tooth fell out my mouth. I think it's because of my dental issue that I've been getting discriminated against like this. But you know what? Even that, speaks to something greater in society, how we judge people off of their looks. Like my eyes are a little big. When I get excited, I buck my eyes a little bit. That don't mean I'm going to hop up and kill you or nothing. It's just that I speak passionately and my face and my hands move, and I can't help that about myself. I've always been expressive in that way. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to beat somebody up or anything like that. I get mad. I use colorful language. That's protected speech. I don't threaten anybody. I don't put my hands on anybody. So therefore, no one should do that to me. And so, I just wanted to say that I just can't believe that this is happening, and I can't believe that people aren't upset about this, because where does it stop? What if it was you? What if it was your child, your mom, your dad? They treat animals better than this.
So, and how long were you in the police station before they made you go to the hospital?
Okay, so when I got in the police station,
approximately. I know you said you
something
didn't
else
really
that
have.
you just reminded me of in asking this question. When I first got there, they tried to give me some food. I don't eat from the enemy's hand, so I tipped it over the edge. The police officer swore up and down that I threw it at her. Now tell me how, with a little bitty rectangle window, did I throw something at you? Just that they were doing anything, doing and saying anything they could to try to provoke me. But the only thing that I was doing was singing and praying. That's why they couldn't do nothing with me. I wasn't aggressive in no kind of way or anything. Only thing I was doing was singing and praying.
And did they tell you when they brought you in, did they tell you anything, or did they just immediately put you in the cell?
Just immediately put me in the cell, took all of my jewelry off of me, and told me, get in cell number 11. Not before they wanted to damn near strip search me. I told them several times. Let's back up to when they put me in the car. Yeah. So I got this type of hair scarf, and you seen my other one was in the video. It ties up. Well, that tie wasn't all the way tied when I opened the door for the police, which means that it fell down over my face like this. So, of course, I'm breathing hard about what happened to me. So the cloth is going into my nose. It was like being tortured. I thought I was going to die in the back of the police car. I had to, I don't know no other way to say it, but, and I hope I don't sound strange in saying this. It was almost like I had to disconnect myself from there so that I would not hyperventilate, because the cloth was going into my nose and my mouth. And I also have asthma and bronchitis. And this was 90-degree weather on Monday. I asked them, could you please pull over and fix my scarf for me, because I feel like I'm going to die. I was panicking. They told me no. They rode all the way from 159th to Harvey Police with what's equivalent to a hood over my head in handcuffs.
And I imagine the car was probably hot too, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is so crazy. Because all we saw is the Magana, Detective Magana's hand on your camera, and that's the last thing we saw. So,
and he was fumbling with the phone. And it's the good thing, the blessing in that is that my phone was dying because they wanted my phone because I had already told them I had screenshotted Chris Clark's threats from the fake page. I had screenshots of Jedediah comments threatening me. And I was saying this to them as we were arguing back and forth online, that I was screenshotting all of the threats and letting them know not to come to my house. If they came to my house, that I was not hiding my address. I let my address be known. And if you show up here, it's going to be a problem. Because they were trying to intimidate me. And I felt like if I had acted scared, they would have done even more to me. And I think it kind of caught them off balance that I was brave enough to, stand up for myself. And then after they threatened me to show up to the mayor's house. So they had to one-up me again by sending the goons to come and pick me up with no arrest warrant.
Right, that's crazy. I still can't get over that. All this stuff happened. There are no charges or anything.
No charges.
It's absolutely insane. So they they took your phone. They take you to they put you in cuffs. They take you to the station, and they just put you in a cell. For hours until they
for hours. So initially, yeah, that's why I had left off. Okay, so when they put me in the cell after taking all of my stuff, now just prior to that. Like I said, they kept harassing me. You got something sharp on you. Just tugging on me. Just being rude and mean to me for no reason because I wasn't belligerent towards them. I was cooperative the whole time. My voice was maintained a steady, tone with them. I talked calm to them. And they was like, because I knew they got me in their hands at this point. I'm in the lion's den at this point. So I wasn't trying to say too much to them. And they like, do you have something in your pocket, this, that, and the other? I literally had to raise my shirt up and expose my breasts to this man for him to stop feeling on me. I had to tell him, stop searching me. I told you I don't have nothing. What, you just want to see my titties? And so I actually lift.
Ooh. Oh, we lost you, but maybe you'll come. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know what happened. And Wyoming had a good question. That was actually the question that I was going to ask. Are you there, Melissa? We just lost your video. Oh, okay. But hopefully she'll be able to come back. That was Melissa, and that was the question that I was going to ask of Ms. Crawley. Ms. Crawley was what Wyoming said. Did she get a blood test to see what the shock could be? That's actually what I was wondering. Like, I feel like that's what I would have done, to have been like, what is that? Okay. Oh, I can send you the link again. Sure. Here you go. Okay, I'm sending it right now. And then Paula Trickens was asking about Uplift Harvey. Yes, I have. I do know Uplift Harvey. Oh, and that's a great point. One of the residents messaged me and said that the Harvey. Now, keep in mind, this is the city that refuses to take care of its own properties, like mowing them, boarding them up when they need to be boarded up, and etc. Okay, she's back now. And I'm just told by a neighbor that there's a water truck out right now watering. watering. What in the hell? They can't even mow grass. Like the grass is super high in all these city-owned properties, but then they're gonna pay for a water truck. And this is the same mayor that says that we're poor and we can't do anything. So whatever. This is why we have to keep asking the questions, because it doesn't add up.
When they need to be dropping water off to the citizens. And I'm told that many citizens are using the fire hydrants. So just imagine if there was some sort of fire or something where we needed those hydrants. You know, even before that big fire that we had over there on the other street, I was already complaining how I live right across the street from a hydrant, and I've lived here 8 years and have never seen it flush. Not one time. And I've lived abroad in other communities that actually invest in their communities, that actually do the maintenance work in their communities. And I remember frequently getting our hydrants flushed. But Harvey doesn't even keep up basic maintenance.
Right. Absolutely. No, you're right. And so these are
like
the questions
on my block. For not the fact that I was very vocal when I know I'm an asset to my block, because when I moved on here on this block, it looked like a jungle. And if it wasn't for the fact that I actually come out and talk to the city workers, give them lemonade, sandwiches, and talk to them, that they'd be more than happy to come over here to help me. But what about the people that don't come out, who aren't as outgoing as me, who can't speak up or advocate for themselves? What do they blocks look like?
Right, exactly. And you shouldn't even have to do that, right?
And I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to bribe you with a sandwich, a glass of lemonade, a soda, or water for you to, you know, even though I don't mind doing those things anyway, because I just have that type of servant type of personality. I'm just like that. It's if wherever I'm needed, I try to help. You know? And I really do live my life by what I believe, by what my religion says, and that's to take care of the poor, the widow, the fatherless, and the voiceless, people who can't speak up and do things for themselves. And if that makes me an evil person or whatever, then so be it. I'll wear that label, because I don't have to answer to nobody except for God when I leave here. And that's why I don't have to get on these podcasts or anywhere else and lie on anybody. What I'm telling everybody that happened to me is the truth. I kid you not. It's the truth. Those people came to my home, unconstitutionally arrested me without a warrant, seized me and my property, took me down to the this is not something that I'm making up. This we have a constitution that says that this is wrong. There's no debating that. They came here without a warrant and drugged me out of my house barefooted and held me for 10 hours and let me go with no charges. And injected me with something that I don't know what it is. And these all you have to do is FOIA the why would anybody be questioning? You know, because and this is not to you, Ryan. This is to and this is not to your audience. But as I'm sharing my story on Facebook, people are questioning my integrity. Like, what would I lie for? Why would I make up a story on a nurse that I do not know? You have to really think that I'm just like an insane person. And if you're going to think that I'm an insane person, please have some proof. What proof do you have that I'm insane? What makes his word more, or his version of events more credible than mine?
Well, exactly. And I was going to say, that's why I can't wait to see the body cam footage. I think that'll be really good. Crook, if you're listening, I know he's my mod. I don't know what this warning is. This legit? What's the warning for? Content violates YouTube, but we're just doing an interview. So can you look into that? I don't know what that is. One of the questions that I thought was really good, and I was going to ask this too. Did you get a blood test to see what the shot could be?
Yes. And here's the issue with that. Whatever they gave me was giving me panic attacks. I was so petrified and terrified about what happened to me. I was scared to go back to any hospital. Because I sat on that board, I felt a little safer to go over to South Suburban. Mind you, I can't drive, so I had to wait for someone to take me to the hospital. Meantime, time is still passing by, you know, for whatever they gave me to leave out of my system. I get to the hospital. I have to wait even though I told them I needed a toxicology report report immediately and what had happened to me, I still was made to sit in that emergency room even longer. You see what I'm saying? Longer, to the point that I started having panic attacks again while I was at the hospital, which would not be good. I know, because they would take me. I would rather, if I'm gonna have a panic attack, I would rather it be in the presence of my family who know how to deal with me. You know what I'm saying? Than someone who could potentially label me for having a natural reaction to a traumatic experience. And so I did allow them to do the toxicology report, but because I already take anxiety medication, the samples would need to be tested to find out what specific barbiturates that they found in my system, because they did find barbiturates in my system. But I don't know if what I take is barbiturates. So like I said, no, that I would really need some help. And I'm asking if there are medical people in your audience, or you know of someone that could put me in contact with someone so that we can interpret my results. But at the end of the day, all body cams should be FOIA'd. If you do that again, you want to pop? No.
And
Don't do that.
No, yeah. So if anyone knows and they're able to help medically, I just want to, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but it looks like because I haven't received an email, but this is more than likely, as Trina says, one of the activists or the so-called activist people trying to strike the channel because they are not happy that we are spreading this information, which means we're doing the right thing, Melissa. So that is probably why I got that alert. We did get that alert before one time, and it did not. I mean, I think I disputed it, and it didn't end up being anything, but that was very strange. So I'm guessing these are people that are allied with the mayor, and we know the mayor is working with some agitators, shall we call them? I'm not going to name names, but that he has brought into Harvey to drive around and try to cause trouble and distract, and that's why it's important that we keep sharing. So I just wanted to throw that out. That's probably that is what Trina was saying, and that's probably what is happening, because that happened. How you do? Oh, okay. Yeah. I just wanted to mention that we dealt with that before. So stop trying to strike my damn channel because you don't want the truth to come out. Why don't you just tell the truth, Mayor Clark? Why don't you tell the truth, Mayor Clark? Christopher Clark, why do you have to get other people to speak for you? You couldn't even face this woman. You couldn't face me. You couldn't face anybody. You're a coward. Then you get other people to fight your fights for you. And that's why you have everybody try to be silent in those meetings. That's why you don't like to answer questions, because ultimately you're a coward and you're hiding things. If you were such a great mayor, you would answer these questions.
Ryan, let me say this. If it's anybody out there that wants to give me a lie detector, I'm willing to take that as well. Also, there was another time that I met with Clark previous to this, where he made the statement, I quote, I was talking to him, we were discussing back and forth. Like I said, I can't really say he's a family friend. He's just a friend of a friend. He said to me, Melissa, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do in this city. I declined his offer. Give me a lie detector test. I promise you. Give me a lie detector test, and I promise it's going to come back that I'm telling the truth. He told me that I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. His words, not mine, that I wanted to do in the city if I wanted to.
If you went along with the mayor, you mean?
If I went along with him.
See, that's good to know.
Because I asked him to introduce, I went to his house one time before this with a piece of paper that shows the legislation in Minneapolis that guarantees that a person renting a home can get their water cut back on if the landlord doesn't pay the bill. I was asking him to introduce an ordinance so that we could have that out here in Harvey for people for these LLCs who are evicting tenants out of their home and using self-help evictions by having our water cut off, and we have no way to pay or negotiate a bill if it's not in our name.
Right. And
So
I'm
that's
glad
why I went to his house the previous time. Don't nobody go to his house to threaten him. The reason I went to his house is to show him, number one, that I'm bold enough to confront him, because we do have the right to redress our government.
absolutely.
That's constitutionally protected. I didn't do anything wrong. Long as I'm not threatening that man, it shouldn't have been no problem with what I did.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
And trust me, I might have called him a name, the B word or whatever I said to him. I've heard him called worse.
Right. Well, he publicly accused me of abusing sexually, being inappropriate with my students. So I mean, he's no stranger to throwing around nasty accusations and words. Not that I condone that. That was actually defamation, but I think you were just using, colorful language because you were upset. I didn't hear any physical threats. I did want to point out that Trina said that she could be a help. She said, I am a medical wellness examiner. I can help. So Trina, I think you can find Miss Crawley on Facebook if you would like to check out. I'm sure she would appreciate that. Because as you can see, we can't even do a freaking broadcast about this without the mayor, the coward that he is, sending people to try to strike the channel and do all of this crap. And again, if they weren't doing anything wrong, why would you have people arrested? Why would you have people
exactly
that you don't even know what you're injected with? If you were such a great politician doing great things, why do you always have to silence people? I mean,
all great questions, Ryan.
And Glenn,
inquiring minds would like to know.
Right, exactly. Glenda says, "Hey, we stand with you, Melissa." So
thank you so much. I can't see you guys comment on here. I don't know how to see you guys comment.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to share them with you. And just again, so if you want to try to strike the channel, I'm not doing anything wrong. I think somebody tried that with when we went over the township meeting. I think that was one of the videos, and I was wondering if it was related to Vivian, because I used one of Vivian's videos, and I thought that's weird because she wouldn't mind. I do think it's someone connected to the mayor and some of these people that he is bringing on to harass others for him. But I just want to make that clear that did not work. And we disputed that last one, and no harm has come to the channel. So just leave us alone, and why don't you tell the truth? Because if you tell the truth, you don't have to do shady stuff to get people shut down.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So yeah, but no, I'm so glad that you could share, and I think that was all the major questions we had. But yeah, remind me, did you guys have any other questions or issues or statements?
Oh, I want to tell another thing too. So as he was taking me, where was he going this time? Because they started shuffling me around in rooms because everywhere they would put me, they got tired of me singing and praying, and I was doing it intentionally. Just to stay alive, because I was getting on their nerves. So you know what I'm saying? I was doing that
and how can they blame you? I mean, you're in a jail cell,
right. And so at one point when he was
moving
me, I can't remember when it was, but like I said, we can FOIA all the internal cameras in the police department. Officer Brazil is the name that you were looking for, I believe.
Thank you. That's the gentleman.
So he says to me, as the medics are taking me away, I already knew what they were doing. And like I said, I had to stop. I had stopped praying and kind of laugh. I said, y'all is really going back textbook, ain't y'all? So now I'm crazy now. Like I started laughing at him. Like I sat down and I even started talking to God, that was probably made him think I was even more crazy. I said, Lord, now they're trying to pay me crazy. But it was kind of so, even in the midst of all that trauma, I had to laugh. Like, it was like the Lord gave me a burst of joy. Like, look at these fools. Like, they really trying it. But as he was taking me away on the gurney, I heard Brazil say, and you want it in Washington, D.C. I looked at him. I said, I'm wanted in Washington, D.C. What are you talking about? Like, and then he's so, like corruption is so ingrained in this man that his voice and his reactions to me, because at one point I asked him, I said, don't you want to leave the police force with a good legacy? Like, you actually treated people like they was good. He said, don't you? And I said, I'm asking you. I'm not a police officer. You're the one with the badge on. So I'm not held to a particular standard, but you are. I want to know, wouldn't you want to leave the police the police force, because you look very old? And I told him that. I said, like, you're near your retirement age. Wouldn't you want to leave with some sort of good legacy as you did? I said, what they are doing to me is wrong. And again, he retorted to me, wouldn't you? Mean, grumpy. And then at that point, he says, again, I'm wanted in Washington, D.C. So he then turns around when the attorney comes in that the pastor sent inside to check on me. The pastor asked him, well, what are you guys holding her for? And he was like, she know. We about to investigate soon as she talked. And the lawyer says, well, she's invoked her right to remain silent. So there is nothing, to talk about it. Miss Crawley, you don't have to talk to them. And the most that they can hold you is 48 hours. Oh, he was really mad about that when he was told that.
That was the lawyer that was sent for you that day?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yes. And so he basically told them, I'm watching you. He said it in no certain terms. You guys are being watched. And I need a number where I can check on Miss Crawley. Miss Crawley, here's the paperwork. So I thought it was a joke. It happened so fast. And like I said, I was praying the whole time. And it was like, and I said it in the video when I was talking to you guys. As soon as I said it out my mouth, I said, God, send me some help. These people trying to hurt me. And that's when that attorney walked in.
Oh, I
thought that it was a joke. And if you go back and look at the video that you just played, that's me talking candidly to show you that I didn't even know Pastor Johnson. He just saw what happened to me and jumped into action. So even his attorney, whomever he sent, and I haven't seen that man since this day, he could testify to what happened, and he works with the public defender's office. So if anybody's questioning anything about what I said, we have people who actually work in the court system who was there and witnessed what happened to me.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to get more of the body cam footage and more evidence on this stuff, because if anything, you can see how much Mayor Clark is so desperate for all this stuff to go away. What is sad to me is that he is the one causing all of this. So, I mean, I don't necessarily at this point expect him to repent and change his ways, but it's just so frustrating in that.
Well, I'm placing him on notice in case he do get people that's watching.
They're all watching. They just try
Christopher Clark. I'm
to
speaking to you directly. You have 7 days to retract your story, your defamation story that you put on your page about me. You have 7 days. I'm verbally placing you on notice that you have to write me an apology, and you have to retract what you said. And you have to come to the table and sit down and talk to me what I was trying to talk to you about when I came to your house like an adult. You also going to apologize to me for what you had happened to me. And if you don't, then we're going to have our day in court. That's bottom line. I don't have to threaten you with physical violence or anything like that. All of these stories that you're trying to make up about me like I'm irrational or anything, I have plenty sense, good sense. Like I said, I've done with a GED and 3 years of college. You got a whole law degree.
I've done more for the law than you have done in your whole entire life or will do. I've had 700 students in attendance to events that were centered around cases that I introduced to the Supreme Court on my own. The ACLU came and joined me, a fight I started by myself. So you're not messing with some bum, crackhead, dope fiend, erratic, irrational person that you're trying to paint me out to be to everybody. You have 7 days, and I mean that, 7 days. And we're going to get down in these courts if you don't apologize to me and retract your statement. And that's the bottom line. And that's for you, Chris Clark, to you, Jedediah. And I'm going to say this to you specifically, because you claim to be one from the church. So I hear your mother's a prophet. And she claims to speak on behalf of God. Tell your mother to come and talk to me. If you can't talk to me like a man, tell your mother to come and talk to me, because your mama should believe in what you're saying, right? I know my kids are somewhere right now standing up for me. My daughter was willing at a high-risk pregnancy to drive across the country for me, to advocate for me for what happened to me. Where's your mother? To speak on your behalf, to say that what you're doing is right. You out here chasing a bag, and that's it, and nothing all, and nothing else. And we all can see it, and we all know it by now. You scammed Kanika Jika's mother out of money. The young lady who was unfortunately found dead in the freezer, you scammed her mother out of money. You're alleged to have done a lot of egregious things that I won't repeat on here because I don't have time to fact check anything, because I don't think about you. You tried intimidating me. You first disrespected someone who's an elder in our community, and when I checked you on it, you started to target me. And I have the screenshots, and you could erase them all. You might as well have left them up, because I already took them, because I know how to protect myself. And I'm going to place you on notice. You ever come to my house, we're going to have a problem. And it's going to be a problem that's bigger than you can handle. I promise you. You running up behind Chris going to get you in a situation. Because I take my safety seriously. And whether I'm dead or alive, and this is to both of y'all, whether I'm dead or alive, whatever you plotting against me, I could touch you from the grave. Please believe it. Because my children will not let something happen to me. My family and friends will not let something happen to me and it go unanswered. I'm going to chase you down from the grave if you do something to me. And I mean that. That's all I got to say to them. Yeah.
No, I think you were very clear. And I agree with I always tell people, if something funny ever happens to me, you know who to go after, to investigate. It's Christopher Clark and his associates.
That's right.
Because
I don't have no problems. And if I have any problem, I know where to trace it to, because that's how least of problems that I have. Right. Like I always, and I encourage people to do that. Say that publicly, especially if you're someone who cares about your town, you want to speak out. Remind people, I'm not suicidal. I'm in a sound mind. I don't have enemies. I don't have people that are coming. Yeah. The only people are people like Mayor Clark, who they just don't want to reveal what they're doing to the city and what they're doing with our money. So they know where to look. If something funny happens to us, they know where to go after. Anything totally happens to me, my house gets shot in, I'm incapacitated, any of that, because I believe they're capable of doing all that. Anytime you that bold enough to roll up to a citizen's house, drag them out their house barefoot, take them to jail, hold them in a 90-degree room with no air, no windows, take them to jail under a forced psych evaluation, administer medication to them against their will, don't log that medication, throw in an x-ray for free because you never gave me an x-ray, yet you billed for an x-ray. It's in my chart, and I'm just waiting for it to hit my insurance. And I know I'm getting excited when I say this, but I'm trying to tell y'all this really happened to me, and somebody needs to do something, and somebody needs to say something about it. And I'm not understanding how I'm tagging the ACLU, the DLJ, Markham Courthouse, Markham Police, all these people who ride around and harass us daily, write us tickets, tow our cars, and do all of this stuff to us. But when something really happens to someone that is egregious, they're nowhere to be found. And you want the community to trust you? And you can't understand why these young men are out here killing one another and going out and getting their own revenge because they don't want to have to call you? Yeah. In the words of Fannie Lou Hammer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
No, I absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Colby's spoken to them. I've gone to the Cook County Board meeting twice and said,
Stop.
We are requesting the Cook County Sheriff to investigate our police department because.
And I filed an internal affairs investigation. I handed the paperwork in this morning to a sergeant whose shift was ending at around 6:30 and 7 this morning. So keep that in mind because you will need that when you're FOIAing. Who would that have been? He identified himself as a sergeant. I also asked him to have his body cam on. So like I said, even when I called back today to do a report for medical battery, to report her to the police, the nurse to the police. Her name is Sharita Allen, who illegally gave me the shot. I tried to make a police report against her and was denied by Harvey police in doing so, even though she committed medical battery. And I'm telling them that she gave me a shot against my will. Harvey police said to me that she was just doing her job.
Oh,
they would not even take a police report.
Do you mind if
that was today.
Show if I pull up that post? Okay, I was gonna say I can actually pull up that post if you want and show people her name and everything because I think that's pretty serious.
Because she's part of it too.
I think that's pretty.
I want to know how they connected, how they even know each other. Do she know?
That's what gets me most is that these people
have friends in common. Why was she? I'm talking. She came in there like
right.
I'm talking like she was the mob. Hold her down. The police acted under her direction. She did the little thing up in the air. I asked them to make sure that the cameras was on. She pointed up at the camera and told me that the camera was on. And I told her, I don't want to take that shot. You give me that shot, I'm going to sue you. I said that to her 3 times before she stuck me. I woke up, I was drooling off the side of the bed.
Oh!
I don't have to lie. Give me a lie detector test. I don't have to lie about nothing. Everything I'm telling you is the truth.
Yeah. Trina says file a complaint with the state of Illinois. Carlita said that is medical fraud with the x-ray. So that's good. Okay. Thank you guys for your input there. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I'm trying to look for the post. You had the lady's photo. I know I saw it.
Her name is Sharita Allen. She's a registered nurse. Didn't even log the medication. She needs her license pulled. That's why I'm looking for RNs. And this I know to be true. If you work in a field, they told you what not to do and who not to get called on you. I need to know those people. If y'all get what I'm saying, I need to know those people
Right.
who a nurse would be terrified
Did you
to
post that?
hear they coming after them. I need those type of folks' numbers. And who to file a complaint with. Boards, ethics boards. If you know people that work in this field who you can
Right.
get my story to them personally. Where I don't have to go through the red tape. Because there'd be a lot of problems too to have to go through red tape to talk to somebody to even get your story heard. I had to take a break earlier today because I wasn't doing nothing but traumatizing myself, hearing so many no's, attorneys I'm calling, and things like that. That's why I would rather just file things on my own, which I'm probably going to start this off pro se. And if somebody wants to come alongside me and help, but I can't let this die. I can't let this die while I'm waiting on somebody to come and help me. Ain't nobody coming for me. I got to go for myself.
No, I think good for you. That's great. I wish I had the courage to do pro se. I mean, I've tried a few things, but because it's hard, you can spend hours
Ryan,
and hours.
I have never lost a case pro se, ever.
That's impressive.
Only
That's
time
very
I've ever lost a case is when I didn't know any better about the law, and I used to just plead guilty to get things over with. I no longer do that.
That's good. Because I feel like,
that.
and that's what they're counting on. They're counting on that we're gonna be discouraged and we're gonna be intimidated by arrests and charges and everything. And that really bothers me. I don't want. It's like if you didn't do anything wrong, we should not be silenced with our own legal system.
And Markham just recently tried to railroad me with the case. And this is their third unsuccessful prosecution of me. All 3 times I represented myself. Recently, this Wednesday, I had a case dismissed against me.
Oh, okay. So what is this? Do you feel is someone in the city of Markham is out to get you, or?
I would just say that it's just these police officers in between Harvey and Markham, and sometimes even in conjunction, that they just have a pattern of harassment, retaliation, and targeting of citizens. And this is not something that I'm alleging. This has happened I've been falsely arrested by Markham 3 times made to go to court and fight cases. And 3 times I won by simply not accepting their public defender and representing myself, subpoenaing body cams and all of that. Like I have body cam footage from my latest arrest in Markham that resulted in being dismissed. The judge was so proud of me. He's in courtroom 204. He will tell you that the stop, Carson. The head, stop. Y'all stop it. That the head state's attorney had to come down and dismiss my case. I filed all my motions myself. I wrote all my motions myself. And when the judge came and sat down over that case, he said, first thing, Miss Crawley, I want to tell you that your motions is well pled and well written. Wow. And he said, he deferred to the state. And he said, and I'm entertaining every one of them. So what do y'all want to do? They were willing to introduce a partial tape that would show me to be guilty. However, me being the brave person that I am, I went back up to the place where they had trespassed me from, caught some customers coming out of that place who were able to get me the footage of the incident that the police wasn't willing to turn over through discovery. Oh. I was able to get it by representing myself. I have all of the body cam footage. They were going to prosecute me had I not had that footage. And when I stood up to them, case was over.
Wow. That's impressive. You'll have to come back and share more of that because that's
I got video for that too.
Yeah, and that's such an issue where people are being arrested, and then they'll charge people. Politicians and corrupt police will charge people, and then people get intimidated. I get intimidated. A lot of people do. Sometimes you're trying, not necessarily that you want to give up, but it's just how do you deal with it. So maybe you can teach us some things. That'd be great.
Mhm.
We need more citizen advocates. I think that's good. Let me pull up. I'll pull up the information about the nurse that is not responding.
I gotta put my phone on charger. Come on, y'all. Let's go in here. Let's go in the room. Come on.
Sure. Okay, so this was Miss Crawley's post about the nurse. This is her photo here. And okay, so her name is Sharita M. Allen. And I guess, so she has not responded to any sort of.
I inboxed that woman. I tried to call her phone and everything to tell her I know what she did to me. I ain't trying to harass her. I'm just trying to let her know, hey, I know what you did to me, and I'm about to tell everybody. But she didn't respond, so I'm not going to reach out to her again. But what I am going to do is find out how to have her served with some paperwork.
Yeah, and it says, I like your comment where you were saying Mayor Clark is dangerous. What I experienced wasn't just illegal, it was inhumane. This man weaponized public systems to silence me, and if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. You, your sister, your son, your neighbor, especially if you dare to speak out. I'll be sharing the proof, but I need the public to understand this is evil, plain and simple. This isn't about politics. This is about basic human rights being violated under color of law. So, and then again, this is the nurse that you're saying did that, and then that's her name. But I definitely agree. I'm just so thrilled that you are speaking up. And then you also said what happened to me under Mayor Clark's direction is something no one should ever experience. It's just yeah, I mean it's crazy, but I'm so glad that you're speaking up. So and then Trina wants to ask you, well, Glynis had said, since when do nurses give orders to administer drugs? And Trina said, did you contact hospital administration or a patient advocate?
Yes, I did, and they won't call me back. And I want to tell you something else about in Chicago. I have gone there in the past to deal with my anxiety, and they have done some other questionable things to me. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all that between Markham and Harvey, these two small little towns, there's so much corruption and so much interconnection. You guys would never know what they do to people out here like me if you don't take your time to investigate these. They're acting from my experience, how I've seen them do things. It's my opinion. Stop. It's my opinion that that they've been doing it for so long that they're not afraid to do it. And it can happen to you like that in a matter of moments. I mean, you can just find yourself in a situation and dealing with these people. Ironically, the first guy who to ever wrongfully charged me here in the state of Illinois, because mind you, I had no Illinois criminal record ever. I was raised here for 18 years. I was always taught by my mother, don't embarrass her. So when I was coming up, I didn't get in trouble with the law. I stayed here until I was 18. When I turned 18, I moved away, and I moved back about 8 years ago because I felt like I wanted to come back here and be a part of the change for Harvey. Like, I used to talk about Harvey when I lived in another state. I used to be commenting on the political things like that. And ironically, when I was attempting to go for my law degree, Christopher Clark went to the sister university of the school that I went to. So I would often inbox him about what was going on in Harvey, and also would help him with
ask him to help me on certain like homework assignments that I would have. So we had that type of speaking relationship. But you got to remember, I'm the little sister of the friends. Do you get what I'm saying, Ryan? Maybe you could say it better than me. I'm the little sister. I'm not my older sisters that's in his crowd. They're older than me. I'm the little sister.
Right. But what I really appreciate about your story is that according to you, you know, you have knowledge of Christopher Clark when he was younger. And so, you know, it's almost like it seems that maybe he's afraid because he knows that you have seen all these different sides of him that a lot of other people have not seen. And we
like
know
I
that
said,
Mayor
give
Clark
me
is
a lie
very
detector
secretive.
test. Like I said, give me a lie detector test, Ryan. We can get straight to the point. Give me a lie detector test. That man offered me the ability to do whatever, and I'm going to quote him again, the F I want in this city. And I declined.
Yeah. And I
declined.
believe that.
And I'll take a lie detector test.
Right.
For that.
And it's so ironic because, you know, as the mayor brings in all these people and things
and they doing what the F they want. Ain't that crazy that they doing what the F they want? I already knew that Jedediah was a Chris Clark plant, and I'm gonna tell you why. None of us citizens could just walk in any type of business and cause that type of ruckus that Jedediah is doing unless we was under the direction of the police themselves. You can't even get the Harvey police to make a police report as evidence in my case today, where I tried to make a police report on an actual crime that happened. They won't do it. So tell me, how does Jedediah don't have no connections to Harvey come over here and be able to go through a business and discover corruption? He gets this magic headline that he's discovered corruption that we've been over here talking about for 15, 20 years.
Right,
but he discovered it just last week.
Mm-hmm. And while trespassing on private property, and not only not being removed, but having Harvey
giving
police
the grand tour, going in there, cussing folks out, all what they telling me that I'm irrational for doing.
Right. I was going to say, and then they're harassing you for just expressing your views, you know, peacefully. But then someone else is going on private property and is getting
doing something actually harmful.
Right. And with the protection of Harvey
and
police.
Against the law, under the police protection to do.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Around here serving 48-hour notices like he owns something. He told somebody else he gives them 48 hours to respond. Who is Jedediah Brown? Why must we follow every clown with a microphone that want to perform for us? He started that ruckus over there. Granted, Tiffany was over there doing just enough damage on her own. Whatever. I don't comment on stuff that I don't know too much about. I'll tell you this. Whatever was going on over there, he took his tail over there, shaking his cup, making all these promises. He claims to have $1 million investors. That's another reason why I knew he was a Chris Clark plant. See, one thing about me is I'm a loner. I don't join no political circles. I sit back, I comment, and when I try to make what I say be of value when I talk. I don't get all out here slandering and yapping. So I kind of sit back and watch everybody do their own little thing. So I've been seeing Jedediah around the activist community, especially if you do the type of advocacy that I do. If you the type of person that I am, the type of circle that I run around, people that know people that know people that know people and things like that, you kind of get a name for yourself. And Jedediah has came on the scene and he's running here and here. Every community, he's shaking his cup. That's what I call it. Shaking his cup, a poverty pimp, making profit off of our pain by creating these videos so he can get clicks, likes, and views. He went viral for calling a woman a bitch that prompted a brawl. And that's the type of man that Christopher Clark is running around here surveying property with. Getting out of his car, going to private citizens' home, looking at property. Jedediah,
What type of government authority does Jedediah have? And then for him to sit up there and act as if he has this grand investigative team when they ain't doing nothing but doing FOIAs just like everybody else can do, and everything else. He just want the fame and the whatever it is that comes with Jedediah. So far from what I've seen, it's only been mess. He leaves behind more victims than he helped, in my opinion, and I'm entitled to it in case anybody else want to knock on my door. I believe that he's a poverty pimp, and it's been proven time and time again. Investigate him. Investigate these people that come into your community talking about they want to help. Right when all hell then broke loose, but it been sitting here this whole time. Nobody said a word. Now all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. You attracted to Harvey?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Carlita pointed out something, and I do remember that during a city council meeting where the mayor criticized. I don't know if it was by name, but said, "Oh, and certain people think that they're, activists or whatever, and they go around calling women names. But now they're buddy."
Exactly.
How did that happen?
Exactly. A couple dollars got exchanged, in my opinion, allegedly. Got to use all those facts because he loved to swear somebody defamed him. The same man that was butt naked in his drawers on live, Jedediah, he wants to paint me like I'm this irrational person when this man is on a live and it's alleged to have no bullets in this gun, faking a suicide. All of this can be found on him. I don't know if all of this is true, but I'm telling you all of this stuff is out here on him. I can't say the word S, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say it again. I think that's why they flagging your video too.
No, I think they're just angry that someone pointed out when we, especially when we mentioned the mayor. But that's okay. They're not. I'm determined. We have to keep fighting. I don't want to let them stifle the truth. And nothing that I'm asking, nothing that you're asking, is inappropriate or wrong or hurtful. We're just asking about information, basic information about like what happens in the government and where our money goes. The irony though of all this is that, like I said, Chris Clark will do anything to distract from and avoid telling us what he's doing with our money. But he ran in 2018 and 2019. He ran against Kellogg when he was an alderman, and that was his big thing, as he said, I can't stand Kellogg, and I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to do this right, and I'm going to be responsive. And you can even look at some of his old plans that he had, where he talks about, what he wants to do for the city. And, unfortunately, most of the stuff hasn't been done at all. So, I mean, he made a lot of promises, but now Harvey's run basically just like Kellogg used to run it. The police are protecting, the police here, for the most part, they protect criminals and they harass the good people. And it's like, well, wait, then how is that different from Kellogg? Like that when I came back to the area in 2016, like that's what people were complaining about with Kellogg. And then Chris was an alderman at the time, and he and Shirley Jawinski and Joe Whittington and what's his name, Lamont Brown, and they would all boycott and they complain against Kellogg and say, oh, he's so horrible and corrupt and blah, blah, blah. And he would ask for all this, the authorities to intervene. And now we're doing the same thing. And he arrests us and tickets us and sends fake activists after us and scammers. And so it's just crazy. It's like, but I agree with you. I'm glad that you mentioned the Markham aspect, though. That's interesting. I hadn't spoken to anyone that had been harassed by Markham police, but I just know that working in real estate, that they're like a lot of Southland towns in that when you want to sell or buy property, they make it so difficult. Like you have to get so many inspections and pay fees, and then they have water fees.
Because they're basically bleeding the community.
Yeah, exactly.
And like if we go back to like, let's go back to like Ferguson with like the Mike Brown situation, Tamir Rice and other these cases. I don't want to call them sensationalized because each one is important and its individual, you know, timing and what occurred. But when the DOJ would go into these different communities, they would be predominantly Black. They would find similar conditions that we are reporting here in Harvey. Most of the economics are built on the backs of the poor through tickets, citations, jailing. And that's why it will be interesting to find out what connections, how Ingalls Hospital finances is tied into the mayor's office, the police department. And these are questions that needs to be answered. But until we have people that are working in these different areas of government who are willing to come together and even expose these things, because sometimes it's not even about coming together. Are you willing to say something when you find that something is wrong? Because I think that a lot of people are just simply afraid to speak up. They don't want to be the one to be the whistleblower. But I think that the braver that we all get and we start speaking out about corruption, maybe more people will want to step forward and say, you know, what's actually going on. Something interesting I was watching, I don't know if she is a cadet or actual police officer, but the young lady who responded to my call today to take the report, I saw her. There was another, yes, baby. Okay. I noticed that she kept deferring back, like looking back at the police officer, like, am I saying the right type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? I said, and this is what I told the young lady. I said, you know, they sent you for a reason. You're inexperienced. You don't know what to say to me. I see you keep looking, and I told her that. I said, I see you keeping. She waited to cut her body cam on, and when she finally cut it on, I said, so let me start over, as I was saying.
That's smart. That's very smart. And that's good advice. You know what I'm saying?
So her body cam can be foiled too. So I'm not irrational. Mayor Clark, I don't know if you share his post, but he went and painted me like I was just irrational at his door, ready to break in on him. I later heard a story that they had to stop me from going inside the gate. He then says in his Facebook post that it is a crime, and then he turns right around again and said that it could potentially be a crime. Then he turns around and, like I said, calls me all these names: illogical, irrational, you know, and then says whatever. Look closely at the last line. I don't know if anybody has the post, but he says, whatever happens to you after that, that's on you. If that isn't a veiled threat or a veiled confirmation that he's the one that had this stuff happen to me, because that post didn't come out until I started talking about what happened to me.
Right.
He's admitting to you guys what he did to me.
Right. And I think he knows he's in trouble because more and more people are coming to meetings. More and more people are asking questions, even though people are still afraid and there aren't nearly enough people out as I would like to see, you know. But that's why I'm glad that you're speaking up.
Leave it alone.
And I'm
scared.
You know, I'm so glad that others.
I'm sorry, my grandson over here. He just this his time to mess with everything that I told him no about before I got on here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fun. Yes.
And him and my dog, and now he's screaming, "Granny, Granny, Granny." So I gotta get this little man to bed. It's like 10:36. I love you guys. I enjoy it. I'm gonna stay on so I can still listen to y'all in case somebody else want to come on, and I'll drop some comments in. But I gotta get to my baby boy And yes, Granny, hear you. Okay.
He wants to.
You don't get a
No,
baba
thank
no more. It's a
you.
sippy cup.
Thank you so much for coming on. No, you have to come on again, and I'm so
Absolutely,
proud that you're
Brian.
speaking up. So thank you. And
Absolutely. And then, once this mess is all over, because we're gonna get over this. Hopefully, we can start reporting on good things like gardening and and little stuff like that. Like I told you, I got some collard greens over here for you. Let me show the people what I do every day, Ryan, so they can see a little part of my personality that they
I
don't
didn't
know.
get to see your plants.
Let's see if I can get it to.
Yeah, I wanted to see your plants in the daylight sometime because I love. I'm trying to encourage people to grow their own food.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to operate it, y'all. So I'm gonna have to come on. I'm gonna have to show y'all another time. But y'all, I got some flowers. I love gardening. So me and Ryan been talking about that. And like I told him, I got some collard greens. I'm gonna teach him how to make some good old collard greens, y'all. Come on in here.
Yay.
Teach him how to season it up with the smoked meat and stuff like that. While he over there trying to act like he on a diet or whatever.
That's good though.
I'm gonna get him some collard greens.
Yes.
Collard greens. That's some baked macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah. That sounds really good. So. That sounds delicious. Oh well, thank you. No, thank you again.
So we can always put together a community dinner and feed them from our gardens. Hey, that's what it's about. Each one reach one, teach one, feed one.
Exactly. Yes, and getting people to, don't put chemicals on your lawn. Grow your own food. Plant a fruit tree. Capture your rainwater, like all these little things.
I got two rain barrels. So I got 2 rain barrels. I don't know if you know this one. Yep. And what's crazy is I won them when I went to pay my water bill one day.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did. And so I won it from the water reclamation district.
Oh, isn't that's ironic?
So
right?
I won one. And
well,
then
yeah, no, definitely. I do.
So. So even I want to say that out to people in the community that that's a great way to save on your water bill, since our water bills are extremely high, is to go ahead and invest in a water barrel. You can actually put a couple drops of bleach in your water barrel. It's going to kill the insect larvae in there, so you want to attract mosquitoes around your house, and you actually can use that water to do whatever you want to, cleaning around the house, mopping the floors and things of that nature, so you're not using enormous amounts of water. So that's advice. So yeah, we want to keep our eyes off of Clark and get back to what community is about, because he's trying to be so divisive that we're not even enjoying our community, because we're all being traumatized. We're up in arms. So we're not even enjoying each other, getting to know each other or anything like that, because everybody's walking around mad. And I think it's a scripture in the Bible. I wish I knew it. If somebody can Google real quick, that talks about what a city is like when it's ran by wicked people. And I promise you, it describes Harvey to a T. So I love you guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan, so much for having me on. God bless you. God bless you. And thank you so much for supporting me and my family.
Yeah. No, definitely. Glenna says she has some from MWRD. And then Trina, make sure, Trina, you get connected to Melissa, to Miss Crawley, okay? So Trina, I told her to reach out because she said she'll help you with some of the medical stuff.
Okay. Hey, Glennis, that's my prayer partner. Yeah, so I kicked it off about Ryan and Glennis. Like, Glennis, I was like, hey, you don't talk to Sister Glennis like that. Then he started jumping on my Ryan. And if any, and just to show you the integrity and transparency, Ryan and I, prior to this incident, really weren't even on speaking terms like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just so amazing how things like this can bring togetherness, and we really figure out how much alike we really are, instead of us being divided into these different factions and things like that. And I think that that's how we get devoured is when we don't stick together. You know, it hurt my heart to see that police officer grab you by your neck. Even though I was mad at you, I knew in my heart that that wasn't right. And I couldn't let myself find any joy in that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when we get into it, we kind of be like, you know, kind of like, oh, kind of that's what he get type person. You know, and people bank on us to be cold like that towards one another. But I couldn't allow myself to be so upset by the little tiff that we had that I couldn't see you as a human in that moment. And I wouldn't want nobody to do my brother, my daughter, my son, my father, or nobody else like that. So I was very upset by that. And like I said, I've been this way since I was a child. I've always been passionate about God, a woman after God's own heart. Am I perfect? By no means, you know, but I try to live my life in a way that that I'm building something that outlives me. I don't want to be known for somebody who didn't contribute anything to society, who didn't make sure everybody was good. And I want to leave the world a better place instead of just taking from it. So yeah, I'm gonna stop running my mouth. They terrorized this house. It was already a mess because I kind of been down, but I'm gonna get these little people. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no, feel free to hang around. Thanks, Melissa. We'll talk again. We'll have Melissa on again. That was wonderful. I'm so glad that Ms. Crawley was able to come on and you know, explain and answer questions about what happened to her. And I totally agree 100% that you know, even people that I may never talk to, or people that I've had arguments with in the past, like I don't like to see people mistreated. I don't like to see injustice. That bothers me, you know, because really, if injustice can happen to someone else, you know, you can even think about it in a way like if it helps you to be selfish, because if injustice happens to someone else, then that makes it easier for that same injustice to happen to you. So, you know, sometimes it's hard, I think, for people to say, well, I don't know, there's enough going on in my life, why should I care? But if nothing else, just keep that in your head. You know, if someone else gets arrested, their rights get violated, you know, they get terrorized, they get harassed, they get bullied. Every time that happens to someone else, it lowers the social resistance to those evils. So it makes it easier and more likely for that to happen to you. So I hope that maybe that can motivate some people. When I understand, you know, life is overwhelming, right? We're just trying to survive. So I wanted to share the post that the mayor had shared because someone wanted to see that. So let's see, I'll pull that up here. Oop. Okay, so this was it. So it's on Mayor Clark's profile. First, if you check my timeline, you will see I'm rarely on Facebook. I do not have anonymous pages. Okay. If you come by the house of an elected official or anyone else acting irrational, illogical, irate, and erratic, you may end up being arrested. Okay. While there may not have been a threat, the behavior could be considered assault, he says. While we may not agree politically, it's not proper to come to my house with such behavior. This is Melissa Crawley at my house, edited part. Now that the police are investigated, she has taken down all the vitriolic posts she had on other pages. It seems as if she thinks I am Cookie Ross on Facebook. I do not know where she lives. The last time I saw her was about a year ago when I was doing yard work in my yard. She drove by my house like so many others do. She is not a friend. She is not an acquaintance. We don't hang. She is a person that lived on 158th and Marshfield when I was about 13. That was over 40 years ago. She is delusional when saying in the video that I threatened her. I only addressed the aforementioned because someone asked the question in the comments as if I may have caused this to happen. And then he does a hashtag of mental health matters. Edited part in. The camera only caught part of it. To everyone, if you come to my house, and this is all caps, if you come to my house with this type of behavior, I consider it an act of aggression and assault. Whatever follows is on you. Stop it. And he quotes Dr. Dre, y'all are going to keep messing around with me and turn me back to the old me. I mean, I agree. That does sound like a threat to me. And again, this is the house where we are told the mayor doesn't even live there. It's all a mess, you know. And I understand no one wants anybody to be upset at their house. But, you know, the sad thing is that when Mayor Clark has you know, harassed and done so many horrible things to so many horrible people, if that's all that someone does is to peacefully come to your house and say that they're upset and they want to talk, he's lucky. You know, sometimes I think, well, maybe that's why he takes our money to pay for that 24/7 security for himself, because if we don't even know what he's doing half the time and we don't know where most of our money's going, who knows how many people the mayor is upsetting, you know, because publicly we know, look at the residents on Myrtle, me, Miss Crawley, Colby, so many others, all the businesses that he's trying to extort. So those are the ones we know about. Like, what are the people that he's screwing over that we don't know about? So, you know, maybe that's why he's a little paranoid. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you feel like going over one more? What was the one that I had? Oops, did I close it? Oh, actually, you know what? Let me see if it loaded. Or let me see if it downloaded for, I edited the little video. So let us see. Oh, thank you. Yes, okay, good. Someone else sent me a copy of that post. So, oh, okay, it worked. It worked. All right, so I didn't finish all the fancy editing, forgive me, but I wanted to, so it's still not as polished as I want it to be, but I was trying to just simplify the when I covered traffic court the other day, because remember all these distractions with the people that the mayor's bringing in town to try to investigate, you know, and just really cause havoc and cause a distraction. This is what he wants to distract you from, and this is how a lot of it started. Okay, so I was covering traffic court and I wanted to share with you. And the mayor was pissed and the police were not happy. And all I was doing was standing outside and saying, hey, you know, I have a right to film inside City Hall, but they're not letting me in. I know they're going to threaten to arrest me. So we're standing here outside, which I should already not have to cede my rights, you know, to be inside. But would you tell us what was going on in traffic court? Because we knew that there was, again, an overflowing line and it was just crazy packed. So this is a little bit of what I just wanted to take out some of the interviews so we could.
And I would not recommend it on anyone. But yes, his court today was really packed. The line was long all the way to the end of the corner, all the way down here.
So again, if you're just tuning in, this is what Mayor Clark and his co-conspirators, this is what they don't want you to see. They don't want you to see hundreds of people, potentially, I don't know how many there were, but when I got there, by the time I got there, the line that was all the way like around the building had already dissipated. But he doesn't want you to see this. So let's figure out why he doesn't want us to see this, the people that he's extorting at traffic court.
And you still have to wait once you get inside the courtroom. It's still a long line. You will have to wait. So they schedule everybody at the same time, which was 12 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
So that's why it was so packed. And I just realized that, like, it was just crazy. But that's just 2:21. I'm just now getting out. I've been out here since 11:30. I fought it. I fought some of my payments down. I still had to pay, but I had to pay for I had to pay $257 for tickets. They really tried to charge me $600. Yeah, $600. Can you believe that? Try to appeal because it's just unnecessary money that I'm spending.
Right.
You know, I'm not rich. a whole different situation. So I was driving my father's car, which I did not know that he did not have the title to the car, but he brought it to court to show them that he do own the car. But they say you gotta deal with that, a different time. But I got pulled over for a headlight that was supposed to be out, and the headlight was working. So when the police officer that put me over, when he put me over to the top of the headlight, it came on. Once that came on, something else transpired into the car don't belong to me. They searched the car, and I had marijuana.
Oh, they searched it?
Yes, they searched the car. They told the car.
Did you give your consent to search?
No, I didn't understand why did I need to step outside the car? Because he told me he was just gonna write me a ticket. And
I remember all this started.
Now.
This poor young man. He's not even. I think he said he lives in Indiana or whatever. But for supposedly a headlight that was out, that really ended up not being out. Maybe it was like a short or something. He said. So listen to what he says. This is what your mayor, then his 4 alder yes-men, Shirley Derwinski, Tyrone Rogers, Dominique Randall L., and Delaney Smith. This is the kind of city that they want. I don't want this kind of city. I want police to actually, make sure they help address violent crime and stop it and keep us safe. But they're using our police resources to harass people.
A lawyer, but you have a possible lawsuit there.
Yes.
If they searched your car without your consent?
Yeah, searched the car.
I would talk to a lawyer, seriously.
So when he searched the car...
Hello.
Come here.
Do you want to tell us about your ticket?
Come on
Once he searched the car,
get out of there.
Marijuana, which I just left the dispensary, was brand new, still sealed inside the glass container.
Right, okay.
He took my marijuana.
Nothing illegal about that.
Nothing illegal about that. It's legal in Chicago.
Right.
And he took my marijuana.
Wait, so the Harvey cop confiscated your illegal marijuana?
Yes, confiscated my marijuana.
Did you ever get it back?
I did.
Okay.
So I got that back.
So this poor young man bought marijuana legally. The Harvey cop takes it from him. It's in the package, he says. It wasn't even open.
And I still had to pay for that. He told me that they was going to throw that out instantly. Like, that was going to be thrown out. I had to pay for that. He tried to charge me $200. The judge tried to charge me $200 for that. For a 3.5, that cost us $30 at dispensary.
God.
So he knocked that down to $50. So I just paid everything because I'm not broke. I work.
Right. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, no.
And also I do have a college degree in criminal justice. I just gotta go to the academy.
Okay.
Yes, I don't get in trouble a lot. This is my second time in court, and I am 24 years old.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, well, I hope that you know your rights. I hope that you, like I said, I would talk to a lawyer for sure, but that's just crazy how they treated you. So they wanted to ticket you for marijuana that you had legally.
At first, it was a regular traffic stop for my headlight that he thought that was out, but it was working. So then that turned to something else, and he started searching my car. I was in handcuffs. The handcuffs were so tight, I had marks on my arms.
You definitely need a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer.
Tight, I had handcuffs on my arms.
This is crazy. This is how our police treat people.
Young, black, innocent people that want better for our community.
Not that it matters exactly, but I am curious. Was the officer black?
Yes, he was.
And so that didn't matter. He still treated you.
And he almost buried the lead there. I was so glad he mentioned. I was like, wait, what? They put you in handcuffs? Like you can't not tell us that. They put you in handcuffs. And I mean, this is just crazy. So then I'm wondering, okay, so what do the cops actually do that we pay? We pay their salaries and everything, but what do they actually do when people are actually harming people and things and actually breaking the law? Yubet wants to say hello. Say hello, Yubet. Good boy. Because if they're treating like peaceful people like this, I mean, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And you said, wow. Melissa says, wow, beautiful young man. I love this. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to be particularly belligerent or anything. He's and well, watch. He'll tell you more. He'll tell you more. You have marks on your arm too. I'm sorry. I did too, Melissa. We can wear our wear them proudly. Just serve because they ain't doing no protecting. Thank you. Exactly. Yes. Yep. That's exactly right.
A black man as a criminal.
As a criminal.
And it was all just for a light being out.
A light being out, then that turned to something else.
Wow. So again, they searched your vehicle without your consent.
Yes.
They put you in handcuffs. And then how did they end up letting you go?
After he ran everything came back. I do have driver's license. I have insurance on my own vehicle. I wasn't in my vehicle. I was in my father's vehicle.
Right.
So he said my father place was expired, which my father did not know. It just had expired, I believe, like a month before he stopped me. So my father just brought out his registration and they towed his car away.
Wow.
So he had to pay like $2,000 to get out the pound.
So why would they tow? I don't understand. What was their reasoning for towing the car? That doesn't make any sense.
It don't make sense. He said that the VIN number did not come back. It was basically saying like it was the car, like the VIN number did not come back. It was someone else's car, and that's why my father brought his title today to show the judge.
Wow.
So it was like wrongful.
So they towed it. It ended up being not justified. Now, are they going to refund you your $2,000?
No, he said my father will have to deal with it by someone else.
Do you guys hear this? And this is not the first case that we've heard, especially of the really, really aggressive towings. The Harvey police are being really, really aggressive with towings lately. So that's crazy. Well, I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you wanna share your name, you can. It's up to you.
Yes.
So it goes. So like I said, what do we pay the police for? So they have this young man supposedly pull him over for a headlight or a light out or whatever. Ends up the light is fine. They take his legally purchased marijuana that's unopened. They have no right to do that. They make him get out of the car. First of all, they illegally search his car, right? He does not consent to the search. They put him in handcuffs, treat him roughly. No reason to do that. Then they make up some BS excuse to tow his father's car. Now, we've heard there are towing scams going on all over Harvey right now, so do be careful. I've heard of several people that said, we have an abandoned house next to us, across the street from us, whatever. The city doesn't care. And, we mow the grass, we take care of it. We make sure that at least it's halfway decent. And we park our car in the driveway. We've done that for, 10, 20, 30 years. Well, recently, the city of Harvey's been coming along and not necessarily putting that orange warning sticker, but sometimes they'll just tow it right away. Because why? They want that money. You are not a person. You are a cash machine. You are an ATM, okay? This is the stuff that we have to stop, all right? Like, we pay enough in taxes. They need to show us what they're doing with the money they have before they start keeping, ticketing people like this. So this poor guy. And then, like I said, if you think it couldn't get any worse, now just wait, watch. He's going to show
or if you want to contact me at all in the future, if you just look up Ryan's Gay Chicago as my YouTube.
Okay, I have a message for the officer that put me over. His name was Edward James. Okay. And he has the nerve to pull me over, and he be on social media smoking like crazy. Also, I have receipts of that.
You guys, I cannot.
And he has a receipt.
Do y'all want to see the officer that pulled me over? Are y'all serious? Can y'all see that? Can they see that?
They may not be able to, but that's okay. You can always. Oh, here. Let me flip the camera. Maybe. Because I was gonna say you can also always send me a picture.
Edward James.
So there he is. He's smoking something there. He said Edward James. I don't know. Does anybody know him? So the guy that was confiscating his legal weed has the gall to have public photos of himself smoking in a car.
So this is the officer. So he has photos of himself smoking, and he pulled you over and wanted to confiscate your.
Yeah, there he is. That's a little bit better. So does anybody know him? I do not recognize him.
Totally 100% legal weed.
Yes.
So you heard it here first, folks. I'm so glad that people are speaking up because this is crazy. Here's another one. How do these cops get away with it? How does the mayor get away with it? They are doing this on.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody know him? I don't recognize him off the top of my head, but again, they are all responsible to uphold their oath to serve and protect and to the Constitution. That means not violating our rights. So I don't care what order. If you get an unlawful order that violates human rights, you're supposed to say no. You just because your boss tells you to do something, that doesn't mean you have to do it. It doesn't mean you should do it. That's not an excuse to violate people's rights.
Purpose to people. Remember, you guys, last time I was here covering traffic court, remember it was the same thing, and I missed the line today, but yeah, last time I was here, There was a line going all the way down
Yes, all the way around the corner.
there. So it
It's
happened
crazy.
again.
Again.
It's crazy, you guys. Well, yeah, find me. Look for Ryan's Gay Chicago on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah. And that's also.
This would be on YouTube.
Because you're I just can't believe how they're treating people. And it seems to me like none of the things you're saying, it was there that was not even justified. Extorter.
Oh, wait, look
right
at this.
Hey, man, justified. Can you believe this?
Can you believe that,
What is
guys?
going on, Harvey? Police.
So we're doing this, and I don't know if the mayor was there at that very moment, but we're standing right outside of his office, and he's pissed. The police are pissed, not because I'm doing anything wrong, but because they are screwing you over and me and the public. And this guy doesn't even. Most of the people that I ran into, this is the second time I've covered traffic court. They don't even live in Harvey. They're just passing through, and they get subjected to these horrible fines. So anyway, we're going to wave hi.
Harvey Mayor Clark. By the way, his office is right there. Hey, Mayor Clark. Extorter. He's extorting people again. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. And yeah, like I said, I'm Ryan. If you look for Ryan's Gay Chicago, you can find me on there.
Plug for my channel.
Have you had any other problems with any police or getting tickets or any other hassles, or is this your first experience?
This is my first experience, and it was terrible. I would not wish this on no one.
And then because this is a really important question, guys, right? So as someone who is just traveling through Harvey, how does that make you feel as far as are you going to want to come visit Harvey for people or to go to businesses or anything?
No, that really put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not even from Harvey. I live in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Hammond, but I do have family that stay in the suburbs out here around, close by.
And that makes me, because I'm a Harvey resident, that makes me very angry because, again, we want Harvey to be a welcoming place for businesses, visitors, residents. So, well, again, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
If you want to tell us your name, you can. You don't.
Thank you.
Oh.
We have to wait outside.
Sure.
So that last part was important because, again, we want a welcoming city, right? So if people don't even want to drive through, let alone move here or visit family or friends here or patronize our businesses because they're afraid our cops are so freaking corrupt, they're going to get extorted. That's not good. And also, it's just not good policy. Like you're not going to make that money, and the mayor always says, we're 100 blah, 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 million in debt. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then maybe stop extorting people and then you can get some more revenue in the legit way. Exactly. I can't count the people that have said they're not coming out here to see me because I live in Harvey. Right. That makes me angry too. Exactly. Because I know we have a lot of wonderful people in here. Not only do we have great history, and I love the history. I love saving and reusing the old buildings with the Historical Society and everything. But right now, today, we have a lot of great people like me, Melissa, Carlita, others that live in Harvey that care about this city. Okay. So don't think that, like Mayor Clark apparently does, that we're all dumb and, can't read and we're addicted to drugs or whatever, stupid things.
Yeah, it was supposed to be at noon. They scheduled everybody for the same time, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And we had to wait outside the line was packed.
That's what I heard. Okay.
We had to wait another hour or two inside the courthouse just to get the ticket. And that was uncalled for. They could have just gave us the ticket.
Right.
When we got pulled over.
They could have mailed it to you or something. Okay.
Yeah. Harvey sucks.
Not
to mention the potholes.
And sorry, I apologize for the wind noise. I needed to cover my mic that day. I think that's where the wind noise was coming from. But she said Harvey's messed up, and that's not even talking about the potholes.
$1 ticket off top. You got to pay $1,000. There's no waiving the fees, regardless of what their outcome is. It's not right. It's not right. They're robbing people for their money. That's
what kind of offense do you get $1,000 ticket for?
Almost anything that they deem you're wrong for. They pull you over, tow your car, you instantly got to pay $1,000. I don't know. Everybody.
Wow.
And look at this. I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny in that I'm just interviewing him, a fair distance outside of the doors, but this lady just hears it and she's just like, yes, she's agreeing, like, it's just horrible. It's horrible. Everybody that came out, either they didn't want to talk, which I understand, or they were busy, whatever. But everybody, if they overheard that we were talking, they were agreeing. They were like, oh yeah, the city's horrible.
Everybody's paying $1,000. They done had over 100 people out here, so they got probably $100,000 out of people already. I mean, you got license.
Yeah, they learn.
Insurance.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be no reason to tow your car.
Saying no, it wasn't.
You had to pay $1,000 and $700 to tow people. So about $2,000 I'm out of getting pulled over. It's crazy. Hope we can make a change on what they're doing. It's not right.
Right.
And then they want to.
So he says again, I guess a fairly normal routine stop or whatever ends up being $2,000 for him to get his car back. And you see in their faces, they're just like exasperated with Harvey, and we have to change this. We deserve better. This is what Chris Clark does not want you to know. This is why he's hiring people to come and distract.
They want to tell you got to cut your grass every week, but it's an abandoned building next to you with the grass up to your waist. But you could get up to a $500 fine for your grass being this short for 2 weeks. They want you to cut it every week. That's some bull.
Decent things.
I drive a truck. I'm on a road that has no advance notice of weight limits.
Okay.
And so you pull right up to it, and there's nowhere for a truck to go. You can't turn left, you can't turn right, and so you're stuck.
Okay.
Traffic piled up behind you, and they nab you, So there's nothing you can do about it. If they really didn't want a truck on that street, they should have had a weight limit sign back about 4 or 5 blocks where you could turn and stay in the industrial area.
And okay.
And there was at least 10 guys in there for the same thing in front of me.
Really? Okay.
So it's a good moneymaker.
Wow. And that's
probably. Had they had a sign, I would have never gone that way.
Right.
But we got a new customer, first time in that area. I didn't know.
And how much is a ticket like that? How much are they charging?
$500 plus court costs. They negotiate it, or they don't negotiate anything. They just tell me they'll drop it to $300, drop the court costs. But it's an easy. He didn't say anything. The judge never talked to me. The attorney for the village just said, "We'll drop it down to $300 and drop court costs." The judge never said a word to me. So that's what they were doing with the other truck drivers I saw here on the same thing. So they realize they're going to settle for $300. They think you're going to be happy with it because you save $200 plus court costs, and you lose a day's pay because you're here at 12 o'clock noon. So you can't come first thing in the morning or later in the day. You got to lose a whole day's pay. So that's what they do.
Yeah.
So it's just a money grab.
Pushing people away.
I've lived 67 years in Illinois, and last year I moved from Illinois to Indiana. So you want to get rid of the mass corruption? Get out of state.
Yeah.
And that's sad. You shouldn't have to leave the state. You know what I mean? So, but he exposed, and I think there was at least one other trucker too that talked about that. It seems like there's some kind of scam with where they put the signs and they're catching the truckers when they turn down the street, and the truckers were saying they didn't have enough notice that they shouldn't use that particular street, and then they get ticketed, and then it starts off as a $500 ticket, and then they negotiate it down from there. And I've been to the court for housing court for bogus violations that the mayor always has his people give me. Like, I have piles of tickets that are not valid, but it's just because they want to see what they can get away with and try to extort you. And they'll, so, if they fine you $1,000 and you go in, they'll be like, oh, maybe we can work a deal. It reminds me that it's like the mafia, maybe we can work something out, if you know what I'm talking about, So, they'll drop it down to let's say 400 from 1,000, and then you're supposed to pay it and feel grateful because they dropped it down, but you didn't do anything wrong in the first place. And sadly, a lot of people aren't fighting it and they're paying, and that's why we're getting this message out. Stop paying your tickets if you didn't do anything wrong. Find out your options. Can you appeal at Markham Courthouse? can you hire a lawyer if you have to? You probably don't even need a lawyer to appeal. Like, look, we have people like Melissa who can teach us how to represent ourselves. So, but if everybody starts fighting back and stops just paying these bogus tickets when you know you didn't do anything wrong, it's going to be a lot harder for Clark and his buddies to keep doing this. They're going to stop. And this is what he doesn't want you to know. This is why they try to strike my channel. This is why they're trying all this stuff, because they need the cash. They're probably using it to pay payroll, because who knows what they're doing with the tax money. So this is their revenue because they don't handle the money correctly. Well, too bad. So sad. They need to open up the books, because they're not gonna be paying out for all their expensive trips and brand new leased cars and all this other stuff off of our backs, you know.
Got to be to the left or to the right, but you cannot be this way. So you can go down some.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
End, all right.
Oh, this is when one of the police officers comes out and he's angry because he says I need to move out of the way, which I wasn't in the way.
Yeah, I'm not blocking.
No, but you need to go down to the
Hi
left,
there.
to the left or to the
Say
right.
hello. You're live.
Whatever. Either to the left or to
Thanks
the right.
for
but
thanks
not in
for
front of City Hall.
sharing.
Just remember that.
Okay, but I'm not doing anything illegal.
He was so rude. Again, he can be nice when he wants to be, but he was being very rude that day.
The rights to be here. Actually, I could be inside. Hey there.
Not in front of the building.
Well, okay, but I actually have a right to film in the building. It's our city hall. We pay all your salaries. Do you guys see this? This is how Harvey police treat everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First of all, if you turn the camera around, you'll see how much they care about their own town.
You're right. We see empty lots. We see litter. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Secondly, we don't need them to be rude. If they want to explain to us how Harvey works, we're listening already. Okay, all we need you to do is explain it to us. You don't need to force it on. Exactly. The signs actually sit back a little bit so you don't see them until you're actually in the turn or actually on the street. And so it's entrapment, because there was actually...
That's the word, entrapment. So the truckers. So beware if you're a trucker. And if you get a ticket, fight the damn thing. Don't let these people extort money from you. Remember, this is not a fair court, and you'll never get a fair hearing. I say appeal to Markham, hire a lawyer, do whatever you got to do. But don't give these clowns your money, especially when you know you haven't done anything wrong.
Sir, sitting on the other side of the street, and he didn't pull me over till about 3 or 4 blocks down.
Okay.
In front of a trucking company.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Compared to other
So that was a trucker. Basically, he said he got ticketed in front of a trucking company. Well, how would the trucks even get into the trucking company if he couldn't drive on the street? So anyway, and I agree with Glennis. She says, lawyer told me Harvey court is not real court. There's not a whole lot they can do to an individual. Do not let these bullies intimidate you. Ryan, scroll up. I literally just said I'll be seeing them. Shake down the truckers, and here you're talking about it. Oh, right. Yeah, you've noticed that in 159th. I'm telling you, Clark and his goons, they're desperate for cash. So I don't know if it's just because they're not getting the grants that they would normally be getting. I don't know, because that is why he fights so hard, and why he brings all sorts of distractions and will call you all sorts of names and false accusations, anything rather than showing us where the money's going. And that's very, very, very concerning, because then you have not just residents and businesses, but you have people that are just passing through, like these poor truck drivers. They're just trying to do a job, and they're getting extorted as well. Now, this lady, her voice is a little quiet. I hope you can hear. She just didn't want her face on camera.
Yeah, we've been to not organized. Been out here for a long time.
Really?
And it's like, yeah, like we have so many police officers. Like,
Oh, thank you. No. This is what we want to know.
It so much, and I feel like nobody's standing up. It's like
She said it was extremely disorganized inside.
so many things you can't even hear. Like so much. You know what? This is the first time that I come to the city hall. That usually when you go, if they start at 12, everybody sits down and they explain to you. You have the rise of the woo and the judge come in, but when we come in here waiting so long, we just see whatever is going on already. We don't even know. You can't even hear what's going on with so much chaos.
Really?
So sorry if you couldn't hear her, and it was a little quiet. They were a little shy, but she said when they were actually in the courtroom, they couldn't even hear what was going on because there was so much chaos. This is what Christopher Clark and his goons do not want you to know. What are they hiding? Well, obviously, it sounds like there's a lot of extortion going on. But I mean, that's crazy. It's like this huge cattle call, and they're just trying to fleece these people for money.
Get Chris Clark.
Do you want to hear, sir? Don't be shy. Talk. Tell us.
Oh, sorry. He said something about the mayor. Wait.
Do you want to hear, sir?
What's going on with so much chaos?
He said something about Chris Clark, and I'm going to replay it. I forget what he said.
Really?
Forget Chris Clark.
Do you want to hear, sir? Don't be shy. Talk. Tell us. Because
Chris Clark, he ain't nothing.
Because seriously, like they're threatening to throw me out. I can't even go in there.
I'll be watching your page on TikTok.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, I'll be TikToking. I'll be watching you. But he's
Okay.
definitely a tyrant. Just Kim Jong Long.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I have court. It's court going on. I had to.
So he said he's definitely a tyrant. He's Kim Jong-un or something, you know, like the North Korean guy. I know it was a little quiet, but that's what he said. That guy, he was just there to pay a bill. He wasn't there for the court, but I was like, yay, he watches my TikTok. Exactly. It's a kangaroo court. Yep. But the crazy thing is, a lot of those people feel very annoyed, but they end up being intimidated. They fall for this scam. Like I said, they'll throw a bogus $1,000 ticket at you, and then you come in and they'll be like, hey, you know, maybe we can make a deal. The lawyer, his name is Patrick Walsh, and he's extremely shady. And then he'll approach you and be like, yeah, maybe we can knock it down. You know, maybe we can take a few hundred off. You know what I'm talking about? And then you think these people, I guess, they think they're getting a good deal, and they're like, oh, I only had to pay $500. They knocked half off my ticket, but you didn't do any freaking thing wrong in the first place. Like fight, because otherwise they're just gonna keep giving people these stupid tickets as long as it works. That came to my mind now. I got to research the meaning. The kangaroo court. Yes, exactly. Yeah, usually it's just basically it's like a court that doesn't mean or anything or doesn't do anything. So, but thank you for hanging in for that, because I wanted to make a I wanted to make, you know, shorter edit, and I'll trim that up and work on it. I want to clean it up a little bit, but I just wanted to have one that was mostly where you heard from people at traffic court, because like I said, that's when a lot of this distraction stuff started happening with Hassan and other things. And I'm so glad that Melissa was on to share, because I wanted to do an interview with her. So this is perfect. But yeah, don't fall for the distractions, guys, and let's stick together and keep standing up for each other for what's right. We're only asking for what's right. A true democracy means everybody gets involved, and we all care about each other. We all want people to be treated fairly and get what they need to live and be, you know, be fed, have shelter, have clothing, have, you know, a basic good life. And when we have these politicians that are stealing and hiding what they're doing with our tax money, they're extorting people, they're intimidating people, that's not going to lead to a fair life for anybody. You know, that's only going to benefit a very few people at the top. And, you know, people like Mayor Clark, oftentimes they don't even live in the community. So it's just crazy. So let's keep up the fight. I think that was all for my agenda for tonight. Let me see if I had anything else. Unless anybody else had any other questions or issues. Let's see. Yeah. That's what started it all. And then we had a whole bunch of fake activism, scammer stuff going on in Harvey and everything. Like I said, that's just all a distraction. So let's keep our eye on the goal, and that is to find out where is our money going. Where is our money going? Let me glance. I might have had an email that I could share with you guys, but let me. Okay, no, not that. I know we have an issue with public transit, funding transit in Illinois. I don't know if anyone's been following that story, but it's a similar problem. I mean, they want to increase our taxes to fund public transit, and I'm all for great transit, but the problem is we have 4 transit boards that waste money. They're all political appointees, and they and their staff make so much money. It's crazy. You know, they need to just get it down to 1 transit board and have these board members be more accountable, not wasting so much money. Oh, excuse me. Gosh, I know there was something else and I'm just blanking. But anyway. Crook, did I forget anything, Crook, for tonight? I'm just looking over my notes to make sure I did not forget anything. Oh, and if anybody wants to share their story, well, 2 things. First of all, it still is Pride Month. Not that we need Pride Month to celebrate the LGBT community, but if anyone has stories of being LGBT or gay or whatever in Harvey or in the Southland growing up, even if you don't live here now, or current experiences, even if you want to share anonymously, please contact me. You can find all my contact information at ryans-chicago.com. The Harvey Historical Society will be putting together some of those stories to share, even if they're anonymous. Also, if you would like to share about why you choose to live in or have a business, or maybe you have a church in Harvey, whatever your involvement is, but why do you choose to be in Harvey? And we want to build some positive stories about why people choose to be here, so it's not all negative. Because like I said, we have a lot of great people, great history. We have a fabulous location. We have a good downtown. It's neglected, but it's still a really, really great layout for downtown. We've got a lot of potential. So anyway, if you would like to share either of those, either stories about growing up gay in the South End or in Harvey, or today, and then also why you choose to be in Harvey or to have a business in Harvey or something, do let me know. Do contact me. That is one thing I wanted to mention. And I think that's the big stuff. And I may make another video. I just got a whole bunch of actually, I could show you guys that before I leave. I got a whole bunch more tickets. So this is what the mayor does. Now, like I said, I'm fighting it and everything. It doesn't mean you have to pay, but I just want to let you guys know. Okay, are you ready for this? All of these tickets came just today. I already have a huge pile in my office. Okay, so this is what they try to do to shut you up, and in this kangaroo court. See this? These are all bogus tickets for a property from the city of Harvey, because the mayor does not dialogue or talk about problems face to face to try to solve them. He sends other people to bully and harass and arrest and fine and stuff like that. So, like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm paying these, but this is what they will try to do to you. So don't give up. Don't give in to the bullies. giving in and being quiet will not solve anything. And I noticed Melissa mentioned that too, and I'm so glad she did. They will still come for you. If anything, they may come even harder for you if you act like a pushover. So I'm just doing this to be completely transparent, honest. Again, these are all bogus tickets from the city of Harvey that I just got today. I already have a huge pile. All right. So I'm fighting them. Trust me. I'm not giving in to them, but I'm just letting you know, you have to stand up, because otherwise they will just keep doing this sort of a thing. And look at, I'm like, I need a secretary just to open these. This is ridiculous. None of these are like actually legit. These are all tickets that were mailed. So just wanted to show you that. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Merci, merci beaucoup. Happy Pride Month. And I guess we should end with something funny and gay, right? As we've been doing. As we've been doing. Oh, she's fun. I like her, actually. Oh, Mateo's funny too. Should we watch a little bit of Mateo? I like Mateo. Oh my gosh, another ad? Get out. Oh my goodness, he's young here. This is Mateo Lane. We're ending with a little comedy, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice, Mateo. He looks like a baby. Yeah. That's Il mio bambino caro from, I forget the opera, but it's a famous aria.
I feel like people don't really know how to talk to gay people. And I say this because I did a show the other week, and this guy came up afterwards. I think he was trying to compliment me, but he didn't realize he was actually insulting me. He walked right up and he was like, hey, buddy, yeah, just want to let you know, for a gay guy, you talk kind of gay, kind of straight, yeah. Yeah, you're like half and half. Well, thank you. Half and half mean, you know? What do you mean? Like, what am I walking around with my friends like, hey, girls, let's go shopping for some pussy. If it's on sale, I'll do it. He was really gay, Peter Pan. Wasn't Peter Pan like the super gay kid? Like, I want to be a boy forever. Got it. I don't know. So like the thing is, like, are there any other gays here? Right. Right. Just me. I'm a lesbian. No. So, you know, I'm gay.
It's a nice venue. We should have a comedy club in Harvey. That would be so nice.
But to add on to that, my older brother is also gay. So my dad is proud. And the thing is, like, I was a very flamboyant kid. Like, there was no question that I was gay. But it didn't occur to me that my older brother might have also been a very flamboyant kid until my mom sent me some family videos recently of when we were younger. And it's when the Chicago Bulls won a championship. And they're going around the entire house and my whole family's screaming. They're like, Michael Jordan rules! Michael Jordan rules! Then they get to my 9-year-old brother, and he's like, well, if anyone rules, Jack. Like, my favorite thing to, this is so embarrassing. Like, my favorite thing to do when I was a kid, I would come home from preschool. I was like 4 years old, and we had a giant tree in my backyard, and I'd walk around the tree every day and sing to the birds like Sleeping Beauty did. Every day. My neighbors did not respond the same way. But I can just imagine now, like, my mom looking through the back window, watching me sing to the birds, having a conversation with my dad, being like, Steve,
That's cute. I've heard that one too. Actually, you know what? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, another one of my favorites in ending, you know, and celebrating our theme of Pride Month here is Wanda Sykes. She's funny.
You know, why it's gotta be they, them, what's your pronoun? Yeah, here's the thing, kids get it. I heard I have twins, right? And my son was asking my daughter about one of their classmates, like, hey, is she? And my daughter said, no. Alexis is non-binary, so it's they, them. And my son said, oh, okay. And that was it. It wasn't any more, there was no judgment. He just got it. He was like, okay. It's like, if your name is Larry, I ain't gonna call you Ted. That's it. It's just a matter of respect. That's all it is. And I'm telling you, if you don't get it, then you get hung up on shit like this, you just sound fucking old. That's all. These kids are on 5G and you are on AOL dial-up.
Now, don't say that one. That's my age too. Oh boy, I remember dial-up. There's one. Wait, what is this? Yeah, she cracks me up. She's definitely a funny. Come on, internet. Don't be slow. I don't know if it's my internet or what. Oh. It's funny that was the same one. Oh, we should come back to this one. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but that's funny. Her on Ellen.
How are you doing? What's the matter?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Little levity. Thanks guys. Was my Cookie Ross joke important? Oh, you know, I don't even remember what the Cookie Ross joke was. I don't remember. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night and keep up the fight and for the right thing, and we'll talk again soon. Bonsoir. Or bonne nuit, I should say. As they say in French, bonne nuit.